shit, go ahead and block. But you can't stop my aim from the fucking headshot. On my nuts, gon' be talking on my job. One finger on my block, on sight. When I see you on the spot, ho.
Jeez. What is up, pimps? It's your boy Cray. Hello, Sharon. How's everyone doing tonight? Uh-oh. What are we all here for, huh? We're here to hang out. Let's see. Welcome. I'm going to give a few minutes for everybody to join. Thanks to everybody that has stopped by. Shits and giggles, you finally get to catch it. You reached out and said, you've been missing them here and there. Well, I think I like this time of day. I know I said something some days ago about liking going on so late, like 2 in the morning, but nobody's up. I hope you all had a chance to catch the MARC video. Yeah, his ass gets roasted enough. Anyway, I posted a MARC video that I grabbed sometime last week, and I said to hell with like fixing it up and doing edits to it. I just slapped it on there. It was actually 2 parts. I had to combine and connect. I don't know if you all seen it. Let's kind of breeze over there, and because I haven't really got to watch the whole thing. I think I was listening to it at work. Oh, what's this? What story should he do? Let's look at this for a second. It's a short. Let's do a share. See what he say.
I don't know about what. Maybe top 10 craziest one night stands. FBI story. Might do that. I'm gonna do a vlog and a story, so let me know what you want to hear.
I'm really curious about this FBI video. He keeps saying he has this story about an FBI video. What happened with the FBI? You would think a story that hardcore. Yeah, what's up, Jake? That you would have already said it by now, or made a video of it, right? That's my thing. I think he's full of shit on that. I haven't had a chance to talk about MARC lately because there's just nothing to talk about with him. He's still, here we are months later, still talking about doing this or doing that. You all have seen enough of my videos of him saying it on there too. But the only videos he's putting out is these little quickies in the shower. Sounds kind of funny. But, yeah, MARC, we're ready to see some new videos, man. If you want to go ahead and put that shit out there. Yeah, see, I'm glad I put it out there today, uploaded, because he took it down. He's always taking this shit down. Yeah. I don't know. Let's hear from the chat. Guys, what do you want to see MARC tell a story about? I've thought about telling stories, but I don't even know if anybody wants to hear anything I got to say. Yeah. Quickies in the shower with MARC coming this fall to a theater near you. Yeah, I loved his Craigslist horror stories. Those were really, really fun. But I think God gave us Creepy Michael. Creepy fucking stalker Mike. Because he knew the energy with MARC was not going to return, you know. And Mike, he too has been going through a weird spell. He's been doing some massive uploads. Now, the one thing he wants to capitalize on is these features, these collabs with other YouTubers. And those are fun and all, but they're starting to get boring. I haven't watched any of them except for the one we all watched together here when I aired it sometime last week. But yeah, I guess we can go over to the one I uploaded in case nobody caught it or whatever. But I think Fargo said he wanted to stop by. Fargo, you out there, buddy? Links in the chat. Anybody else welcome to join if they want. Come as you are. You don't have to get dressed up in your suit and tie. What am I doing? All right, videos. So we got his pulled up. It was almost 11 minutes. All right, let's check it out. He's playing with the filters, yeah.
Alright, guys, so I'm doing a video by Tuesday. Apparently, me and Gunnar Al Lindblom are supposed to do a video Tuesday. I don't want to say anything bad about it.
Was today Tuesday? Let me check my calendar. So that means he would have did it. Yeah, today. Was it today, Mars? I know Gunnar's not going to have it pulled up quick, but you need to come by and tell us about your experience with it. How did it go?
But just through emails, he's cocky, narcissistic, arrogant. But I'm going to try to make the video with him because it's the best story ever told.
Oh, yeah, okay. It just jogged my memory. This was the one we talked about the other day where somebody mentioned that Mars was calling him out. Calling out Gunnar. Now, I don't know why he seems so let down and disappointed that the things, the way he's describing Gunnar, that's pretty much everybody that's on YouTube that's in that area. You know what I mean? When you're dealing with half-ass celebrities, people are going to be arrogant, stuck up. They're going to have this machismo about them that's like, you know, they're celebrities. Treat me as such. And I think maybe the little people, they feel like in order to feel better, they too need to be a celebrity. And that's what Mike's been doing. Mike is like, fuck all you losers. I am going straight to the top. ADD gang, fam.
The FBI story. The FBI story. I did the night I was twacked out on meth, like hardcore. I was twacked out on meth.
Twacked out.
I told a story that I probably shouldn't have told. I'm going to tell on his channel. Hopefully. Because he's kind of an asshole. He's just constantly trying to tell me how much better he is than me and like all this and all that. I don't want to talk shit. This isn't a beef. But yeah, I'm going to do that. Hopefully. We'll see. If not, I'll just tell it on my own show. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, fuck that. You don't need a celebrity. You are a celebrity, Mars.
While I was recording videos throughout the summer when I was doing like 3-4 a week, this was going on. And I could not tell you guys. And I really want to tell you guys now, even when I told the story.
What the hell?
In the beginning, like fucking 3-4 months ago when I was twacked out. Also, I'm not a meth user. Very rarely use meth. Close friends. You guys know who I'm talking about. Close friends worked at a restaurant where it was all over the place. And I tried it. Maybe I was drinking some of the nights, but
yes, I saw that.
I told the story. I did a 15-16 hour live stream.
I saw that clips. That shit was funny as hell. That is true. The one thing, the gypsies, do you think he was slowly turning into one? I mean, the evidence is there.
If you were there, please comment. Don't say anything about the story because it's going to get told soon on Gunner's show or on my show. It's better to do on my show because I'll actually get views for it, and I'm sure it would get pretty popular on Reddit, just because of all the people things like people talk about on there.
Dude, I would be fucking thrilled if Mars hit 1K subs and then became YouTube famous and started like being monetized. Wouldn't that be badass? Like, then we get to see the side of him that was he's making money off of his product. You know what I mean? How exciting would that be? Like, we were the ones to watch him in his early days as he came along.
About the subject, and I think it would get mad views. And it's the most chilling story I've ever done. I've never done a story that I think personally is better than this. It's all about how I film it and do it. So I gotta work Friday night shift. By the way, guys, I'm a cab driver. I work for Doyle's Cab Company.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
a cab driver. So
I'm gonna look that up
money
real quick.
And commission, or money and tips. So
sorry guys. Sorry the stream looks choppy. It's got to be the internet because it's not the video's not like that in real life. I don't know if there's a lot of devices on in this house or what. I'm checking now, but yeah, the signal's great. You said Doyle's Cab Co. Yeah, the first thing that pulled up was Fargo, North Dakota. All right, let's check out an overview. Look where the screen froze at. He's sticking his tongue out. Gay thugs, let me see you stick your tongues up. All right. Well, you know what? I don't believe this. I don't believe this place really exists. So, to be sure, I'm going to give him a call and request a cab. Let's see how this goes.
Welcome to Doyle Yellow Checker Cab.
Alright, Doyle Cab?
Yeah, are you guys hiring?
Yes, we are. I actually advise people to try to come in between 10 and 4, and it's possible you can get hired on the spot.
Okay, what kind of car are you guys going to provide for me?
We actually, all our drivers have Dodge Grand Caravans.
Uh-huh.
And that's pretty much it. That's all. That's what they are right now.
So your preference is a Dodge?
That's what we use, yes.
Yeah, they're pretty tough cars. Is this like an app-based job, or are you guys an actual company that has a station?
We're an actual company.
Oh, wow. How do you base your... Like, do we make tips on top of an hourly rate or per mileage?
Well, let's see. I know company drivers used to make anywhere from 46 to 48% of their fares. And now I do know that they have changed that recently, and now that they are leasing, but I have no information on that. However, if you're up at 10 o'clock, 10:15, you can call back and ask to speak to Rob tonight if you want, and he can tell you whatever you'd want to know. He's our nighttime manager.
Okay. What about employee referrals? I have a friend of mine that works for you guys, and I wondered if maybe we did some kind of a referral. I could get like a sign-on bonus, or he does too.
I honestly can't answer that. However, I have heard of that in the past. It's something you could ask when you speak to one of the hiring managers, because I really don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I sit here looking at 3 screens all day. I don't hear much conversation.
Okay. Sorry to...
So, but I can tell you this. We go out of town a lot doing railroad crew runs and medical runs. So we're not just your average taxi company. So, we could do a run from Hector Airport to Minneapolis Airport, and that's like a $600 run. And if you're leasing, I think you see most of that. You only got to worry about your weekly rent. But if you're like a company driver, then you'd see like 46% of that fare.
Oh, wow.
So, which is still good, and so most people work 10 to 11 hours a day. There are people who have been over 3,000 in a week. My average when I'm on the road is about 1,000 a week bring home. And so it all depends on you. But the opportunity and money is here.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna hold you any longer. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. You take it easy.
All right. You too.
Oh, I accidentally hung up on him early. Shit. So anyway, look, they're legit, guys. We just called and seen for ourselves. Mars, you really might have a good thing going for you here, buddy. I hope you don't fuck that up. Look, man, should I tell y'all? No, I'll save that for another day. Okay, well, I work tonight, but, anyway, yeah, sounds like a good job.
Like I work second shift, night shift, so it's hard to make videos. Last year was different because I just started driving Uber, which I got kicked off of Uber and Lyft, just because Josh fucking Hawkins.
And you know what?
You
know what?
Like 325.
I'm gonna make it a personal goal for us to find this Josh Hawkins. I feel like I did see his name around some places on the internet, but I've yet to see him show his face once in a very long time. Does he really exist? Or was that just like a troll alt account manned by someone else? Yeah, no, Sharon, I didn't want to like make a scene. That's why I kept the phone call very useful. Like, I didn't want to waste the man's time. I'm already wasting his time by calling, saying this shit, but I didn't want to like really turn it into like a bad prank where Mars ultimately gets fired, and then that would be my fault, you know? There are some responsibilities to this shit, guys. I know things have been looking bleak lately, but we kind of got to stay classy at times for the sake of the universe.
$5 from me and then stole more money because he redirected me to like some like fake website, and he's just a complete scumbag piece of shit. You watch my videos, fuck you, go to hell. You're a fucking piece of shit, and I hope he die and rot in hell. But anyway, oh dude, there's gonna be an entire series on Josh Hawkins. Not a series.
That'll be
22
badass.
episodes on Josh Hawkins. First fan when I had 40 subscribers, like 30, 40 subscribers. He found me on Reddit. He remembered me from the Kava Zombie videos, which all of you guys that are familiar with Cree.
Yeah.
Cree.
I got a shout out from a celebrity.
My videos. This guy had seen it back in the day and then found me on Reddit because my face is indistinguishable. I mean, there's a rose, a black and gray rose, face tattoo, which they didn't have at the time of recording the original videos. They got this right before working with the Irish Gypsies. Yeah, guys, I got so many more interesting stories to do. It's just I've been so fucking chronically depressed. Like, I've been so depressed. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if it's because the weather, the season, construction. I don't know. I'm not doing construction right now. I'm working on the cab company. It's depressing. It's low pay. It's not what I'm used to. I'm used to getting like $1,000 a week, you know, where my fiance wife, she's my girlfriend. I have bad credit.
My fiance wife.
You guys heard the baby mama stories. Like, I got a Capital One credit card and bought like a bed, sofa, TV, and never paid it off because we were broke. And I moved back to my parents after that. But she won't marry me because of my bad credit, which we should fuck her credit up because for some reason in marriage, like if you have like one that has bad credit, one has good credit, it'll like combine and whatever. It's cool.
Yes, I love when Mars starts talking about this kind of shit. I actually learned something from it. He just, for instance, got on the subject of talking about credit. That's really good. He's in the right direction, okay?
Function like husband and wife, though. But anyway, so
pin hit.
No, I seriously want to start recording videos. Supposed to do a video on Gunner's show. Gunner is a major.
Yeah, I don't know, Mars. You may want to, if you're going to do that with Gunner, you may want to prep that to be like an actual video. You know, we saw that one thing where you did it over the phone, and that was okay, but there was a huge delay because it's like the phone calls are delayed compared to the internet, and even the internet's delayed. Like this live right here, when you all type in the chat, you may have typed that like a minute ago, but for me it pops up instantaneously, and I feel like it's like it just happened, you know. There's a delay.
I don't want to talk shit about Gunner.
But yeah, if he's going to do an interview, don't do it the phone way, man.
We tried to set up times. I was like, look, dude, I don't get off work till like 2, 3 in the morning. And his wife makes like 85,000, 90,000.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
He makes $1,000 a month off YouTube. He has a clothing company, which is actually nice clothes.
Who knows?
Maybe he makes 1,000 off that a month. So let's just say Gunner makes $3,000 a month. His wife makes 85,000. Their house is paid off. All this guy does, and he said it. Well, I got out of prison, and he's like, I don't have any skills. And what he's doing is he's hustling, just like how he did. He's hustling, just like how he did when he sold weed and all that. Like, if you listen to stories, most of you probably don't know who he is, but he's a Detroit mafia affiliated guy. He sold drugs, stuff like that. He was always a winner. Like, he always made money, you know. But he's doing the same thing now legally after being out of prison for 13 years. Or trying to extort somebody or something. I don't remember.
I think those days are long behind him, man.
Yeah, he has all the time to work. His wife works full time. He gets mailbox money, 1,000 from YouTube. Let's say 1,000 from his clothing line, maybe more. And then
now some of this is the shit that worries me. Okay, the way he's just reading a motherfucker's pockets like that, you know, like you, Mars, do not actually know what he makes on merchandise, or I mean, you could probably give a rough figure just by looking at some numbers, but even then, you're not going to have a complete thing to run off of, you know what I mean? So, but what I'm getting at is, okay, so he already paints this picture in his head, right? And then he runs with that notion, like, this is how it really is. And I think that changes the way his relationship or how he feels about something, because it's already in his mind written out, you know? That's kind of dangerous thinking, because what if this information's not accurate at all? It's like not only a lie to yourself, but you could make the wrong kind of business moves by doing that kind of stuff.
whatever the fuck his other thing was. And then, like, he's got, like, movie deals with Scott Bernstein, all that. So he's on his high horse, and, like, he's just been talking down to me. I'm my own YouTube content creator. Like, you know, I got fans. I got people hitting me up every fucking day.
Yeah, listen to that.
Make a video, bro. When we make a video, bro. Bro, I've been on hiatus.
Mars is the type of fucking gangster. He gets people reaching out to him for videos, okay? They reach out to him, not the other way around. Gunner actually reached out to Mars. That's what really happened.
Because of the life circumstances. Like when Roman Atwood, the professional YouTuber, he disappeared because of a stalker. It's been like that, but not a stalker, just mental, like, health issues, work, all kinds of stuff. But, yeah, so I'm going to be back. Dude, I've been working my ass off paying these bills. I got, like, unemployment bills, all kinds of fucking bills.
Unemployment bills?
Finally get solved. I'm gonna fucking get a haircut, buy some new clothes, and start doing YouTube videos again within a week or two. Hopefully by Monday, because after I do Gunner's interview, if he does it, I'll fucking do a video. And I'll
How is
start
this
all
life
off
changing?
and
Like
tell.
seriously, how is doing a video with Gunner life changing? I think the guy has like 8K subs, almost 9. There's much more tubers out there that he likes, unless they turned him down. He's already asked, you know. I'm thinking maybe Gunner's the only one that's really had some kind of correspondence with him, and maybe that's why he's built it up so much in his head, you know.
Tell the Fed story. I almost got arrested by the FBI. I will tell that story. People offered me to pay me for it because I told it one time when I was all fucking methed out, and I'd right when I woke up the next day, I was like delete because all the haters. But I will hide names, dates, and all that. But yeah, it's a gnarly story. Look at me, chills on your
What I
back.
don't get is, okay, I know, like right now, he's just making you a video to explain his plans. But with this time he's using, he could be recording something. One of his famous videos he's talking about. One of the classics, I guess. Yeah, that hit me too. Unemployment bills, unless maybe there was something that had happened and maybe he owes money back on something during that time.
Chills on your back. Just imagine ordering from the dark web. It comes 6 months later. They want you to go into the post office.
Oh, really?
And sign
Damn.
for it. It's like an episode of Locked Up Abroad where they're walking through the fucking X-ray machine. They're just sweating bullets. Anyway, let me get out of here, guys. So come back to YouTube next week. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.
All right. Have a good night, Mars. That was good. So, once again, we got another one to add to the pile of, I call them, like, good feeling vibes. Like, maybe he's, like, having a good moment. Like, the chemicals are balanced just right in him. And, well, Mark, good luck to you. Mark World. Yeah, people are saying that story sucked. I wish I could have heard it, like, or maybe I did and I just don't remember. But I think, or was he talking about when the police knocked on his door and he had to like start chugging Kalonzalam or something or some shit? Like, I do remember that one. Yeah, he did some car stories. Those were not half bad. A lot of them were good anyway, but yeah, he did one video last week. He looked super rough. Did you all see that? Of course, it wasn't on long, I don't think, but we were all like, dude, this looks so bad. I don't even want to freaking play it. I should have recorded it, though, just to do like a side-by-side comparison, because then I could see when he's live next, compare that photo to how he looks live in the video, and I could tell what level he's fucked up, you know? That'd be a really good way to identify. Let's take a right down. Yeah, what do you all think? Next best thing out of Fargo? Or what about this guy?
I walk up to him, you know, the person I am. I'm pretty, you know, assertive, go for something and relentless. You know, I'm gonna have my way if I'm set on something. So I see Ludacris and I bum rush him, right? So I approached him. They shoot me off. So he's walking, and at this time, I'm following him. I honed in on him, was following him and shit. me walking, I'm walking a little faster than average. They watch me like, what's this crazy white boy doing? Blocking him off to where he's eventually going to go through all the video games. He's going to run into me.
Yeah. Eventually, he's going to run into me. Or so they say. Moving along to this next subject. This fella. He is unlike people I've seen on here before. He is very persistent. I think he's going to probably make it. I don't know. Like I said, he constantly gloats all over his celebrity collab. I mean, what is with doing, like, that's so 3 years ago. When other tubers do nice collabs, it's exciting to see, but for some reason the guest thinks this is supposed to be like a staple of their career. I don't think the road to getting so-called fame is a short one. I think it takes you and all of your effort to get to that point. So you become a content creator on YouTube. You see and emulate something someone else does, right? Yeah, this stuff's pretty hardcore. I've never had it, I don't think. But Mike, I gave him a break. I tried to see if he would, just move on and do some different things. And he kind of did. I haven't watched anything really. We went over a Mike vid the other day. This looks interesting. When banging dope becomes a thing. I wonder what the theme of that's going to be. Since he no longer does it. So he says.
Shit.
Did we get it on there? Yeah.
I seen around it with it. So, as I started to touch bases on, I had a friend and a drug dealer I run with, and he had gotten so bad off where he didn't have any veins left, right? Okay, so for the people that don't know anything about this, which I'm hoping is the majority of people, you start shooting up, and you get to where you have to hold on to your needles, you have to reuse them, you got to keep up with them, It wasn't until the end of my using.
His face is all of a sudden broke out. I wonder what he's been doing. All this talking drug stories. I wonder if he kind of backslid maybe.
The place that I could get needles, so I was all the time having to do shit to get them. There were places there was one place that sold it, and then this kid got them from there and died, something OD'd, so they quit selling it. The only place in Roswell that had them, and I had another drug dealer would get me some, and a buddy of mine was ordering them online. The guy who introduced me to it was getting them by the boxes out of state, and
man, he's kind of making me dizzy, dude. He's over here. The camera's like literally inches from his face, and he's just pacing, dude. Like, that shit's kind of making me dizzy, man.
I
watched
this guy do it for some time before I broke down and did it, so I broke down and did it. So the first time was with this guy that I was working with, and it just progressed from there and progressed. And so this guy was so bad that he had to wear this arm thing around his arm, right? It looks like one of those things when someone sprains their wrist or their ankle.
An ace bandage?
You guys all know what I'm talking about. And he wore one of those all the time. And this was even, and then again, before I even knew that he was shooting up. Why he was wearing it. He had been
These
wearing
people,
it.
these YouTubers, they pick, like, not saying anything about you good YouTubers. You guys make good videos, whatever. You're not included in this. But I notice a lot of these low-level tier YouTubers, like, for instance, this guy, and then, like, Mars too sometimes, you notice they pick the most awkward places to tell the most hardcore stories. Like, what if someone outside overheard him, and that's why he's, like, talking real low? Like, you're over here, they're, like, wondering what you're doing, holding this phone, pacing, doing circles. You about cut a track into the asphalt because you're over here trying to put together this long video from memory, and I don't know, it just looks odd. I would be settled down, like sitting still somewhere, like in a chair. I mean, wouldn't you guys get comfortable when you're going to tell a nice story for YouTube?
The guy that introduced me to the needle. Been doing it for, much longer than me. Many, many years. So it gets me going on that shit. And
cliche ass coffee cup makes an appearance.
And so I get real bad off on it, and I have to pull all kind of dirty dirt move shit to sustain my habit, to sustain where.
Okay, boom. Let me make a point. Notice how he just said he would have to tell us things about that he would have to do, like dirty maneuvers and shit like that to get your next fix, Okay, he's sitting there telling us that. That's all Birdman does in his videos, is he tells about his terrible experiences with having to go cop the dope, man. But he's going to accuse Birdman of that shit, like saying that's bragging and making a mockery of it just by being involved in that whole scene. Mike, you're not the king of YouTube. You're not the king of drug stories. In fact, a lot of these people have come out before you, and I just think that's stupid. I think the drugs fried your brain to think that your way is okay, but anybody else's is not.
I was able to continue my life. Like I said, I successfully shot up for a couple of years, but I didn't say I shot up for 30 years. I've just been doing all kind of drugs. It come down to
nose hair makes an appearance. Look, he could have just cut that motherfucker. Look at that big ass nose hair, dude. When that thing is so big, I can see it on Zoom, on the internet. It is time to clip that mug, Mike. Come on, dude. That is extremely noticeable. And that's probably the same nose hair we pointed out weeks ago.
Can stay doing that and succeed in life, or 9 times out of 10
successfully shot up.
They'll go to jail or they'll OD and die. You don't go from being a heroin addict to you don't just stop that and go be a successful member in society, okay? So the way people quit 9 times out of 10 is, like I said, prison, jail, and death.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I've seen, even when I didn't shoot up, I was still heavily into drugs. I snorted heroin for years before I ever tried shooting it, and that's when it really went downhill from then. So I get to shooting heroin every day, and after a couple of years, I get to where I can't do it anymore. I've gotten to where, and now I'm in.
Man, I've heard so many horror stories about shooting up. People that do that, man, how far off in your head do you have to be? Now, I'm not talking down on you people that use needles or anything. It's just the fact of, like, that in itself, if you're not properly trained or something, like, or what they call a miss, you don't hit a vein, and now you're just stabbing yourself, injecting shit at this point. That is very, very dangerous. Why would you let it get that bad? I mean, you could at least smoke it or something, or snort it. I don't know. I don't know the proper way to do heroin besides needles. I've never seen anybody do it in my entire life. But if you're taking needles and you're, like he said, that guy back there with the ace bandage, Man, that shit has to be terrible to have to live with and deal with, like knowing in the back of your head you're risking your health over that shit with fucking needles, man.
In and out of my job. My job's not doing very good, but I'm getting enough work to sustain the roof over our head and to keep getting high. We were doing real good, and then I was working for this company. I've been working for like 5 years, right? They give me $1 raise every year, and this was this man that I rented the apartment out of. And so Mike, the guy I talked about, OD,
What is he fucking fidgeting with?
And so
He's making the fucking volume get muffled. I think he's covering the microphone up, changing hands and shit. Just go sit down and tell us these fucking stories, man. Why the fuck are you pacing around trying to do this?
There was this guy Tim, he was the owner, and then there was this guy David, who I speak of, was he was a big meth dealer at one time, and then he got in a fight with his girlfriend or some shit like that, and he had some kind of charges. Well, he wound up changing his life completely, and so I work with David. David's the manager on the like the supervisor, and then David's got a brother Steve, and then there's Mike, the guy Mike Adams I speak of. So David had his shit together, but Steve didn't. And so they bring a friend of his, Justin, on. He's the one that, like I said, introduced me to the rig and started doing his shit at work in front of David and all that. And David's a guy that goes to church. You know, he don't do nothing bad and wrong. So he was trying to get away from us. David was trying to get away from us at the same time. Now we're shooting up at work. Now I'm having to take lunch breaks, go get dope, and David knows it. So it was just it spiraled out of control, just all down that hill from there. So this was over a matter of a couple of years to what I would say really barely successfully pulling off life, dicking anyone and everyone that had anything to dealings with me within those 2 years. I had to do,
Jeez.
Not god-awful shit, but stuff I'm not proud of. That's all I could say. So, just doing shit I wasn't proud of. And so, I get myself
Kensington, where's that place
at?
at?
Deezy gets himself all fucked up. Deezy's done got to where there is no veins. I was trying to explain to you in the last thing about you'll get no veins and you'll have to just blindly shoot. So you have to, this is what junkies and shit do. You'll have no more veins left. So you have to shoot and, make test runs and shit, as I was trying to explain. So also, you're also dealing with I'm yet to meet one junkie. He's just one junkie, and he's alone by himself. Even for me that wanted to be alone by myself, you're continually, huddled up with a bunch of them. So long story short, when you go to get your dope, best believe there's going to be 5 other people there with 5 of their friends and associates and etc., right? So dirty needles are like gum on the street. You can see it everywhere. And so you'll get to where you'll be needing some yourself, and I always manage to stay just stay one stroke ahead of the game. But like I said, I've seen,
man, I don't know, just per se, if I was a needle junkie, I would be a clean needle kind of junkie, because just the thought of like these people reusing dirty ones, and this, like, he's saying all this stuff, and it's just, I'm imagining, and I'm combining that with what I already know as far as what I've heard growing up over the years of hearing about some of this stuff. Like I said, I'm not well versed in how to do it, or I got a lot of my info from Ryan. Ryan was a needle guy. Even in prison, he did some shit with needles that was very sketchy. It could have been Like, can you imagine having to go to the doctor and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do a blood test. It says here you've been on IV drug user for a long time," and they come back with the results and they say you have HIV, or they'd say you're HIV positive or something. Dude, how would you fucking feel? That would be so fucked up, man. I couldn't fathom having to get news like that.
Dudes that didn't have anything go to having hep and AIDS within a 2-year span. I can't even tell you how many people I've seen that actually that I watched contract HIV. That's some scary, dirty, nasty shit.
See, this shit is depressing. You want to base a whole channel off of telling your rotten ass stories? This shit's fucking depressing, dude.
Whatchamacallit, checked. I've had all kind of health issues and doctor work and tests and all that, so I don't have it. I'm good, right? And my wife, like I said, she's never even done the needle, so we don't have to worry about her. But so all my boys got AIDS and hep, and so we're gonna go to work one day, and my boy's telling me, I gotta be cognito a little bit. I don't like my neighbors here. I can't tell when they're outside. They're listening to some shit. I don't want to.
So here, let me go tell the video out in the middle of the yard where they can potentially see me.
I'm not proud of it. So, DZ's telling me this morning, and this is an everyday thing now. Come pick DZ up for work. DZ's done got me the job. So whatever he says goes, and whenever we get out of the house and get to the job is where we get there. There were times we'd show up at 11, 11:30, 12, 1, 2.
Damn, cutting the fatty with horse trank and meat tenderizer.
So
I'm gonna have to
this is
that.
the house that I was talking about in the job, and I posted. I did a video, as you guys that have been with me for a minute. I did a video on the house, but I had to erase it. So this morning, DC's telling me there's two
Rub a lot of
us,
cock.
me and two other guys. So
like
there's three of us playing with DC's arms and his and all that, checking out his toes. Behind it, he's got friends now. He's a drug dealer too, so he's got, he kind of like pays people. So what I'm trying to get at is he's got guys there and they know him real well. You know what I'm saying? They know where they shoot him up sometimes. He's having trouble. Give someone a bump. Say, here, hit me, because like I said, after you've been doing it for years and years and years, you don't have any veins and shit left. So you literally get where you need help. I've had times when my arms are so beat and banged up that I needed help to shoot up, but I couldn't do it. And sometimes it'd be that you'd be dope sick and you'd be shaking so bad that I couldn't do it. Afraid that I was gonna spill my dope and put too much water and all kind of shit when you're dope sick and your mind ain't right and your body ain't right. And so going to like shooting up, it's a chore. It's a huge task, and so
Imagine it is,
silly
man.
and stupid with it, and my boy got silly and stupid with it and ran out of all other options and said, hit me in the fucking neck. Hit me in the neck. Yeah, hit me in the neck. Dude, I'm not the one. I don't feel comfortable.
Well,
just do it. I do it.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the misses and muscling it, like, can you imagine something happen to your neck? Like, you give your neck an abscess? I wonder if that shit even has happened, dude. That'd be scary as shit. I'm gonna look it up and see.
What happens? Of course, this ain't Boy Scouts me teaching you how to teaching you knots and shit. No, giving it to you ugly and raw. So I hit Daisy. I miss. As soon as I hit him, he gets a little bubble.
Damn, so Mike gave this dude a hit in his neck and he fucking missed like Mike did and it fucked the guy up?
Under the skin. This is like this is like taking chance. This is like suicidal attempts and shit like this, right? At this point, you're hitting in your neck. You can't hit anywhere in your hand. So his buddy Dustin, and if you've seen the videos, you know who Dustin is. Dustin gets in there. Dustin hits him, gets him, does him right. Dude's sitting there shooting up in his fucking neck. And I'm sitting here watching and trying to help in this shit. And I'm looking at this, and if you've been there, you've been there. And if you ain't been there, you're there mentally with me right now. So you can imagine the type of shit it feels like to be sitting there watching this kind of dirty, grimy shit, you know. And like I said, my dumb ass has done it to myself. You've seen the videos. I have fucking softball cut out of my arm.
Oh, he's gonna show us. Yes, I was hoping he
Had
would.
to get cut out of my arm. And
He showed us once, but
just for you that do and don't, let me see if I can just
yeah,
show
let me
this guy.
cue this up to pause.
Try to show him other videos, but
Yikes! Can you see that shit? Look at that vein running right down the middle. That's probably one. Look how it's like bulged. You see, it's probably scarred from getting hit there before. And that's another thing. I imagine if you get an abscess near a vein, that's got to be really bad on the vein, huh? Like possibly you would permanently injure that motherfucker or something.
you know, everything's backwards. You see it.
Damn. He said he was able to set a Coke can down in there. So it was much bigger. You know, the body's going to heal, but that was the remnants of it.
I can see in the picture. Can I pick?
Damn. That's like right on his
see that.
bicep, too. I wonder if he has any, you think he has any muscle damage? Like when he goes to like flex that arm, like maybe it's kind of not right or something?
No, I promise you don't. Thank God I didn't get that until I was grown, you know?
No, I bet that's not a
can see
vein.
that.
I bet that's just scar tissue. It probably got cut open there, maybe. Because he did say that him and his friend tried to do like a half-ass attempt on draining it, you know, outside of the situation of a hospital present, you know. But, yeah, wow.
You can see the deck. You see how gnarly that shit is. Imagine what that thing was like. It goes all the way across my arm. I don't think you can really see it, but yeah, they cut out a baseball out of my hand, and like I've said a million times, you could literally set a Coke can down in my arm.
Yep.
So that's nasty, nasty shit. So they have to do the same shit to Daisy. So I shoot, I miss. He don't go to work anyways. I take off for work. I go to work. While I'm gone, he goes to the hospital. He's in there for a couple of days. He's on, you know, I don't know how to put it into words, but you know, I'm not gonna say he's, you know, on his deathbed or no shit like that, but he is not in a good place.
Damn. Yo, Fargo.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. It took me a minute. Fucking had some technical difficulties.
Oh, yeah?
So, what are you watching?
Well, we actually...
Oh, it's Michael.
Yeah, we got to the Michael part of the show.
Hell yeah. My
We're
boy.
discussing... yeah. I seen your
Michael, I know
name
you're
on
watching.
the... What's that?
I know Michael's watching right now.
You think so? I hope he is,
for
man.
sure. He locked his wife up in the room for the night. You know, he's sitting down in his boxers on his laptop with, you know, dimly lit, and he's watching his favorite what would you call us? His favorite chroniclers of his life.
I like to
and
think
times of
we
the
were
most failed
connoisseurs of TV.
Life and times of the most failed man in Georgia.
This is the show where we rate your average drug users. Yeah, the chat's talking about the damn drug problems around in their parts of town, I guess.
Where we're at?
I think they're out east, maybe.
Oh, yeah, out east is a different ball game. I don't know. People are weird out there.
Yeah,
Copper is like a mecca for this shit. So like we get all like the real top tier, you know, grade A, you know, top of their class drug dealers and users and all that. This is the what would you call us? This is like the Olympics for drugs and drug users.
It's like you're the Disneyland.
Yeah, that's
and they're like Disney World or Disneyland. Which one do you guys have?
We have Disneyland. It's in Anaheim. Speaking of, Anaheim's actually a pretty grimy area for the most part too. It's kind of the funny part, irony of the whole thing.
Yeah, Corey says Philly. Yeah, I would love to head out east and check out the Northeast coast. That's one of my bucket list kind of plans in life.
Yeah, I've only been once. I went to New York City for a job I had once. I went out to New York. They put me in this really nice, swanky hotel in Manhattan for like a month.
Oh yeah,
because we had an office out there. But I've only been out east once ever. Pretty much it. And I've never like lived outside of California.
Do you prefer West Coast as opposed to East Coast living?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean the month I was out,
more than just home to you. It's actually nice.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I hated New York City when I was there. I was only there for a month. I couldn't stand it. And then I've been out to Arizona, Nevada, like everybody else. But I mean, it sucks out there. Arizona, Nevada are trash.
That's cool. I got my East Coasters in the house. Got the West Coasters in the house. Got our Middle America in the house. Man, how come we don't really get anybody from overseas?
I mean,
is
what
YouTube
kind of
a thing over there?
What kind of content like this type of content appeals to out of overseas people?
Well, what's a really happening area over in Europe?
I mean, there's a few, but I mean, as far as like this sort of content, this sort of like drug related / random gimmicky loser related fucking content, like what kind of appeals to Europe, because different regions, different sort of cultural sensibilities.
Yeah, I know living's a whole lot different overseas in other countries. I've had friends in the military, and they refer to this place as the real world. Like when they're out there on a stint in the military, they're like, "Yeah, back home," or "I can't wait to get back home." Like this was the real world to them. Like,
yeah, it's weird. Well, I mean, that just kind of shows you, the whole bullshit. Like, the bullshit sort of like mind washing of American exceptionalism and whatnot. People kind of refer to it like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, California pretty much has everything, I think, that would appeal to any sort of decent human being, like California really is its own country, to be honest with you. I mean, we're
like people walking around like zombies.
In what way?
At times. Just strung out from the drugs, being homeless, like.
Not quite like
more of a nighttime thing.
I mean, basically, like in LA, you have how LA operates, and that's pretty much on LA is just like that on its own. You see like way more like whacked out crazy shit, but just different areas. You get different sort of types of drug users and addicts and stuff like that. It's not that like ugly, LA is like that, but that's LA, and that's obviously mostly downtown and central LA.
Have you ever been to the Figueroa Street? Any of them places?
To Figueroa?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been to South Central a bunch of times. I've had I want to say like 3 or 4 different exes whose families have roots in South Central and out there. So I've been there plenty of times. Got parties out there, all sorts of stuff. Inglewood, all that.
Okay. Is it kind of safe to say where you are? I mean, you don't have to say where you're at, or can you say where you're nearby, like a nearby?
Oh no, yeah, I'll give my GPS coordinates and all
that. No. I'm just wondering what kind of, if you were in like the greater, I'm in LA area, or
I'm in what they would consider the IE, so Inland Empire.
Well, somebody such as myself has no clue what that is.
So I guess the biggest city around here would be San Bernardino, and be the biggest city that people will probably know.
Hey, do any of those does that city come up in any of Ryan's stories?
You know what?
San Bernardino
Yeah, it actually
Valley?
does because San Bernardino is a city. It's like Stockton, basically. That's our Southern California's version of Stockton. It's always like a top 10 like murder capital and stuff like that.
Well, how's the drug usage out there? Is what I'm kind of getting at. Like,
Oh no, San Bernardino is I mean, you can look it up. San Bernardino, I think at one point there were a couple of years where San Bernardino was had the worst crime in the country. I mean, it's always a top 10 like murder capital stuff like that. It's pretty intense. San Bernardino is probably the ugliest place I've ever seen. Really, it's
Really?
like Watts. Yeah, oh yeah, Watts. So I've been all over, but like Watts, Stockton, and San Bernardino have probably been like the ugliest places I've ever been. Like the grimiest, just like worst, roughest places. Watts, like I said, San Bernardino, and Stockton. You know. But San Bernardino, yeah, San Bernardino is really bad, really, really bad.
was that really Rancho Cucamonga from the movie Friday too?
Oh, I think so.
Is that
yeah,
nearby?
yeah.
I feel like I've seen that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Rancho Cucamonga. Yeah, that's
Jail
a
is
real
actually there.
place.
The
Holy
jail
shit.
is actually West Valley. The only jail I've ever been to is West Valley, and it's in Rancho Cucamonga.
Yeah, Rancho, right
yeah,
there.
yeah. I actually had to I was pretty much almost dope sick. I had to walk there once, like 5 miles. But so Rancho Cucamonga is a jail for San Bernardino County, and Ryan Leone. In one of his stories, he said that
Oh, there's Anaheim, not far. Yeah, you're right near Los Angeles. That's pretty cool.
Ryan said that supposedly he was the shot caller for a little bit for the Woods, or had the keys.
There's
My bad.
Skid Row.
Excuse me. What Ryan allegedly said that he allegedly, if they have this sort of thing, had the keys for the Woods, in the San Bernardino County Jail in West Valley, and
So that was the jail he was talking about being
one of the jails. But I think he's bullshitting.
Because I do remember that story, but yeah, with
think he's
Ryan,
bullshitting
it could have been
because,
stretched.
Well, San Bernardino County is San Bernardino County, Riverside County. Out of any other place in California, are two strongholds for the Woods. So, like, I mean, we're talking like when it comes to like white, street people, whatever you want to call them, Riverside County and San Bernardino County are gonna be where you see skinhead gangs and stuff like that. That dude that everybody loves and stories written by a current prisoner, the white dude Powder. He's from Lake Elsinore. He's from the IE. Like that area has like a stronghold for that shit. So I kind of doubt they would let a weirdo like Ryan have the keys. I mean, it's pretty active with that shit.
Well, I think there was no representatives or something. Like no one was there to represent the whites,
Dude,
and so he just stood up and said, "I'll do it." And so at the time,
I'm sure there's no short. Like, trust me, like San Bernardino County has no shortage of white junkies going to jail. Not only that, but not just the normal white junkies you see in jails, but like the street kind, like shaved head, tattoos, political ink, all that. Like that's San Bernardino County, Riverside County has the strongholds for that shit.
Wow, they've got the first original McDonald's over there. That's the museum.
Yeah.
Wow, you ever seen that shit?
Yeah, I've been by that a couple times.
I wonder if any of that, like from the movie,
that
Founder.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, I tried to see that movie, but I only ended up seeing bits and pieces of it. But yeah.
He just comes home from dinner after his long tours of his new career success. He's like, I want a divorce. She just doesn't say anything. They just keep eating dinner quietly like it's a new day.
That's funny. You say that though, because like actually, I thought about that when I heard the movie. I don't know if they had parts of San Bernardino in it, but I kind of wonder about that.
Well, at the beginning of the movie, when you see him happen upon those brothers that own the I guess they were the McDonald brothers or something, and they had their own restaurant they opened, and he kind of swooped in and got him a little piece of it, and then went out of control and took control and kind of muscled them out of their own. It was kind of a dark, grim story. If you think about it, right?
McDonald's is pretty fucked up.
It's supposed to be a happy place to eat, and kids love it or whatever. But like when I was a child, McDonald's was a happy memory. But yeah, it's got some dark undertones to it. Hey, what's up? We got Gray in the house. Where you been, Gray? Oops, wrong comment. Boom. Gray says, hey. Does Fargo, do you know Splinter?
The prison POV dude? Is that who you're talking about?
Is he a prison POVer?
That's the name of his channel, I think. If that's the dude I'm thinking about.
Fuck it, I'll look him up too.
Yeah, Splinter's he's in POV dude. He's from
Yeah, he's
he's from Bakersfield. Bakersfield is basically like um, when it comes to like white people, Bakersfield is like they're South Central.
so where's like Hollywood and all
yeah,
that? Is that
really
further north?
That's LA County. No, LA County. That's LA. Hollywood is like literally basically LA. It's directly north of LA, like right there. But yeah, Bakersfield is actually pretty. As far as like culturally,
Yeah, I see
and just the type of
Bakersfield,
people and the type of
Fresno.
scene and whatnot. Bakersfield is just like Riverside. It's basically Riverside.
There's
like,
Santa
real
Barbara.
similar.
You ever been there?
Santa Barbara a few times. Yeah, that's
That's
too
where
bougie for
Ryan's
my blood.
from.
Yeah, that's too bougie for my blood too. Santa Barbara is like fucking dude. That's just so bougie right there. That's
Yeah.
like some like that's a fucking yeah. It's bougie.
Yeah. Yeah, this is it. They're all here. All these places. You're in the spot. So I'm guessing what everybody, like when they think of California and the West Coast, they think of this area. This is the area they want to go to, I guess.
Yeah, when people think of California, when people think of Southern California, because Southern California and Northern California are two very different worlds, two very different climates, two very different environments. Obviously, when people think of Southern California, they think of Los Angeles. You know,
Man, San Francisco's so far away.
San Francisco is its own fucking world.
Seems like
Even
it's
from-
pretty far. You ever
Even
been there
from
before?
compared to the rest of like Northern California, what's that?
You ever been there before?
To where?
San Francisco.
Oh yeah. No, I grew up about like 45 minutes to an hour outside of San Francisco in Salinas. My childhood I spent Salinas, which like I said, it's about hours away from San Francisco in there.
How's the crime over there? Is it kind of like not?
I think San Francisco has always kind of had its rougher parts, but I think in the past like couple of years, like everywhere else, it's kind of ratcheted up, you know. But San Francisco is San Francisco. It's so gentrified out there, and the weird I guess dichotomy is the word of like of rich and poor out there is insane, and just the wealth gap out there is like, dude, like you'll see nothing else like that anywhere else. I think, dude, it's fucking crazy.
Damn, my bad, guys. I got really strayed away from the video. I'm over here looking at the map all stoned and shit, like, oh, this would be a cool place to visit.
No, the thing with San Francisco, dude, is so fucking expensive, dude, to do anything there. Like San Francisco, like, and oh my God, it's so busy, dude. Like, it's so congested and like it's chaotic. It's just too much, dude.
Yeah, but, hey, one of my childhood friends, he visited San Francisco for something, and he said the traffic is like bad. Well, I guess it's bad everywhere over there. You got to get out super early, you know.
I mean, the traffic in San Francisco is like a special kind of bad though. Like the rest of California isn't that bad traffic wise.
All right, shit's
LA and San Francisco are gonna be the worst.
Good night, man. We got some Bakersfield. Yeah, that's nice, I guess. And then where like from Jonathan Davis is from.
Yeah, that Bakersfield, a lot of meth. It's been that way for a minute now, but
yeah,
Bakersfield is grinding.
I guess I don't know. I guess places just everybody's gonna have their bad areas. Maybe. Let's see what this.
Yeah, just with the state like California, you have so many different little towns and cities that like you have a mix of every single thing, you know. But there's cities like San Diego too, which are not entirely nice, but mostly nice. Like San Diego, as long as you stay out of the southeast area, you're pretty much you're good, you know. It's so nice, dude. Like, but you know, super expensive.
Gray, you want to call for me?
Yeah, Gray needs to get on.
Listen, no, we can't do that to Mars. If we call this place again, because look, I used my real number. I didn't hide shit. I called them. They could call me back if something was to come about, but I didn't. I don't think I said Mars's name. I called. I was curious about Mars's place of employment. He said he worked at, and so I called the Doyle Cab Company, and the guy was very helpful. He told me a lot of stuff, and that was really nice of him.
Did you ask
But,
about our friend Marcel?
Oh man, I was so tempted, but I couldn't. Man, I didn't have it in me. I didn't want to like be that
Yeah,
guy to like. Even if
Yeah,
I was, if I just simply mentioned his name, all he would have had to do was somebody would have pulled him off to the side and go, "Hey, we had somebody call us last night, and they mentioned your name specifically, and you know, here we go, fucking Cree on YouTube harassing my job. He got me fired. You know, I can hear it now. You know."
Josh Hawkins. Josh Hawkins.
Yeah, should I have said my name's Josh Hawkins? That would have made it
Hi,
better.
it is Josh Hawkins.
Gray says she'll do it. Well, Gray, you want me to shoot you over the number? I mean, or hell, you can look it up. It's a real place. Yeah, we checked it out.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They actually have a property. But look, if you're gonna do it, you got to come on the panel and speakerphone it. That way, or else it'll all be just for nothing. So. Let's see.
I noticed. I think Gunnar Allen Lindblom deleted my comment that I left for him about Marcel.
Grizzly, what's up? Sorry, we can't hear you, Gray. It's probably a mic. It's been a while since you came on.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want me to prank call? I have an idea. I'm gonna call as a fully woman-owned adult entertainment company, and we wanted to know if one of your drivers wanted to participate in one of our adult film, business gigs that we're having there. And then once they start talking, I'll say that it's like a completely feminist, and make some. I don't even know. Like, I'm just thinking of something.
You're just messing around. You're just messing around. Why are you wanting to play like that?
Because it's hilarious.
No, that's a great idea. I'm actually on board, but man, I worry for Mars.
I won't say anything about Mars.
Because they'll be so confused. They'll be like, what's going on with, like, why are all these people calling? They're going to backtrace the numbers. They're going to see Cree. They're going to have Cree's number. Damn it, why did I call live on YouTube?
Josh Hawkins, is that you?
Tell him my name's Fargo Block Boy. Let's say Fargo Flock. No.
Josh Hawkins.
Yeah, Josh Hawkins.
Josh Hawkins.
This is payback, Josh.
Hey, I'm reading some of the reviews to see if there are any complaints about Mars. There's one person who says that they were scheduled to be picked up and the guy was 30 minutes late, and then when I mentioned he was late, I didn't even get an apology. That sounds like Mars.
That's fucking Mars right there. That was Mars all damn day. Boy, what?
He's gonna make a story about that, about how he has PTSD from a customer yelling at him for being late for a bad review.
Well, Jake, I think what makes it special is it would be Mars's cab company.
Had a driver almost hit my husband and I in the parking lot.
Damn. That's some good reviews.
The same driver almost run over someone who was crossing 13th Avenue on foot. He was turning left on a yellow blinking light. Oh.
They were balling through a yield, huh?
Sorry, I'm just reading these.
He says, that's that Kalanza lamp. Yep. I got a text.
Benzos will fuck you up. Like, Benzos will do that shit hardcore. Like,
yeah.
The fact that he drives like that on Benzos is fucking crazy.
What is that, like driving on like Xanax and shit? Hell yeah. I would never want to fucking operate machinery on that kind of shit. Like, when it comes to driving, dude, I have gotten very lax in the last fucking couple years. Like, I am a sloppy driver now. I don't care. It's something that I'm ashamed of, and I have no patience. I'm gonna do better, though. I'm gonna do better. Don't you hate late reactions, son of a bitch? Let's see.
So I just read, don't get me started, wrote the fact that Mike worked on heroin is crazy to me. Heroin, like, it's pretty easy to just to, like, live or work manageably on heroin, do a lot of things manageably on heroin. Like, once you get past the first few months, like, you can pretty much do anything. It's like whatever. Even with fentanyl, like, after the first, like, several months on fentanyl, like, if you do it hardcore and you get past that, like, that phase, like, you can do whatever. Like, it's nothing, you know?
Is he on or heroin right now?
Who?
Mike.
Oh no, he's not. He's too weird. Yeah, no, I think he's probably on like a mix of different like antidepressants and like weird shit like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if he like smokes weed or something like that, or maybe he's like a weekend drinker type shit. But, yeah, he's not on heroin, no. And not only that, but like the type of addict, from the sound of it, I haven't really watched all his videos on the thing, and like I haven't really watched a lot of his videos like fully through, because that's just fucking like a chore. But I mean, as it is, like, for the most part, it sounds like he was the type of user who just basically taking dime bags. Like, it wasn't exactly like getting that fucked up with it.
I think he's kind of like a little joint toker.
Not really, no. I mean, a little bit, yeah. But I'd say compared to my first year, I mean, I'd say probably 60% of the high is probably gone, for sure.
Okay, I just popped on for a minute. I gotta go. I have to go to sleep. I have to be up tomorrow morning. But
Oh, you're not gonna make your phone call?
do you want me to?
No.
They have to.
What?
Now you're obligated by internet law.
Okay. Should I? Or, I mean, I won't say anything about Mars. But...
Well, the sexual male dancers or something that was kind of a far cry. I mean, like,
I was saying like I wanted to hire somebody there to come to pretend to be a cab driver to star in a porn.
Yeah, they would totally blush behind the phone if they heard that.
Or they would hang up. Like,
they'd be like, "Man, honestly, we're getting fucked with."
Honestly, if I wouldn't even like be rude to the person. I just hang up. Hang up.
Let's take a small chronic break.
Place. Let me emphasize on that. He is not in a good place. When you got that shit, you basically got you've injected poison.
Spit it out, goddammit!
Basically, when you miss, and I've done it myself. Like I said, I've had to had emergency surgery because of it.
Yeah, because you try to play doctor and cut it open yourself.
Like, my ass was dying. My ass was full of what do they call that? I had
fucking courage
during that, but because sep, I think they call it sep. You're septic. Yeah, my ass was dying when I went to the hospital. They rushed me right to the back. Usually, you go to the hospital, you have to sit in the waiting room, right? There's no student sitting in the waiting room. When the ladies seen that, all their eyes lit up, and like took me right back immediately. I didn't have to do, and that was it. They immediately took me back and started pumping me, had me filled up with antibiotics and shit. Like, I was close to dying, and so they get me back there. And the day when I went that day for dope, I had a fentanyl 50 patch on when I went in. Okay, right? That was my dope for the day. that was about what I needed to not be sick per day. A half gram of a 50 patch. I go in there with the 50 patch, and now I'm starting to trip because, damn, I'm about to be dope sick, you know. I go in there with a huge ass abscess, and they put, and I've told the story, they hooked me up to two IVs, right? So both my arms are tied up. That was some of the worst shit too. Imagine both your arms being tied up. You can't, immobile. It was so uncomfortable, and it was, basically hell to go through all that shit. You could only imagine. But yeah, so you don't want to be there, and so I've had to have emergency surgery over it. My buddy was in the hospital for a week from a neck, the infection in the neck, and then he was okay that time, and he went back sometime later, and so like I can't tell you, I can't speak for you on his behalf, but I can only tell you what I know for sure. Like, he's been to the doctor a few times, and what's for damn sure is that when you're doing dope and you're doing a lot and you're doing all the time, you're not only putting spells against yourself and shit. You're making it where your body can't recuperate. You see what I'm saying? Like, my buddy's to where his body will not recuperate, and I heard he had to quit shooting. Still does it and snorts it. And is away in prison sentence.
Pro tip: if you don't want to wait in the ER, have a gaping hole in your arm.
I can't tell you how many people that I've known and seen and watched kill themselves over the past 20 years.
Yeah, like, man, I understand, like,
Really past 30 years, but the past 20, it's really kicked it off. Like,
so is it like a theory where if you're gonna be a doper, do it in your 20s, maybe? That's the best years to be a doper, because by the time you're in your 30s from being wore out from your 20s,
because your body recovers so quick, recovers quicker in your 20s.
Is that true what he said though? Like,
what did he say? My bad.
It's keeping your body from recuperating.
What is?
I guess being an active user.
I mean, it depends on. I don't know what he's talking about, but like, he'd have to be more specific. Just talking like that just sounds like some weirdo shit. But as far as like recovering, excuse me, as far as recovering from any potential damage during it when you're in your 20s or early 30s is going to be the ideal time if you were to do it, just because that's when your body recovers the best from any sort of issue like that. But I mean, if it's different from somebody who smokes $300 worth of crack every day and slams a gram and a half of heroin. Their use is way different than somebody who smokes smokes a little bit of fentanyl and smokes a little bit of meth.
You can smoke fentanyl?
Yeah, that's the main vehicle for users. The main ROA.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be it's smoking. Yeah, and that's what people are killing them. It's weird. That's what people are dying off of is smoking it.
From smoking it?
Yeah, actually.
What do you do? Just throw it on foil and put some intense heat or something?
Yeah, or dab it. Yeah.
Like with a dab rig?
Well, no, you can do both. You can either chase it on foil, or you can dab it with the silicone and all that. Yeah.
Can you do heroin like that?
Yeah.
Off the foil too? I've seen or heard stories.
I was dabbing heroin for a long time, but I switched back to foil just because I use less heroin that way, and I seem to be getting higher with foil versus dabbing. I don't know why, but I will say that with like smoking, what's it say? Like with smoking,
can you smoke oxy?
Yeah, but it's shitty. The high is awful. Smoking oxy is such a waste. Like, super big waste.
Wow, who thinks of like, if I put fire to this, it'll, I don't know. I guess people just try shit, trial and error, man. Fucking.
But the thing that's weird is that like, how do I put this? Like, with fentanyl. So like, so carfentanil. I recently I heard this story from a dude who for whatever reason he came up on 12 grams of pure carfentanil. like pure carfentanil. Like we're talking 98% pure carfentanil. You know, him and his girl came up on it, and that 12 grams lasted them, two hardcore users, literally over a year. And he told me that just by putting a little bit, like a tiny little bit, on a piece of foil and hitting like the same amount you drag on a cigarette was enough to basically get you fucked up the whole day. Like fuck you up. Like it was crazy. So like, yeah, that shit's fucking insane. But that's obviously a very rare, very unique sort of occurrence. But the fentanyl you're gonna get out here, the street fentanyl, if you look, the DEA every year publishes a list of the purity of drugs that they seize in certain regions, you know? And out here in California, when it comes to fentanyl, I believe we have like either the highest or like the second or third highest percentage, or second or third highest, one of those, top three for sure, like highest percentages of like the higher percentage fentanyl, which is going to be like around 20%. So like really good fucking fentanyl here is having like 20% real fentanyl. It's like that's pretty heavy.
Do you like any of that stuff, or?
Fentanyl, I just went off for a while. I used it pretty heavily for about 6-7 months. I had like everyday habit that got up to like, I don't want to say like, it got up to like around half a gram to, you know, some days even a full gram of fentanyl a day. So I was usually pretty heavy. The full gram was very, very, only like a handful of days, but like, so I had a pretty solid fentanyl habit. And the thing with fentanyl is that it's not euphoric at all. Well, it's not euphoric it's in the way heroin is. There is a little bit of euphoria, but I mean, it's not that special, and it reminds you a lot of crack, and they constantly have to redose to get the high. That's where it's kind of dangerous, because like you could still be having the effects of the on your lungs, as far as like the depressive effects on your breathing and your breathing system and your lungs, but not really feel the high. And so then you go to smoke more, and bam, you know, you're fucked. That's just one of the ways you can die smoking fentanyl. But like, there's a multitude of other reasons to die smoking fentanyl. But
you know how people get Narcan for like heroin and stuff? Can you get Narcan for fentanyl?
Yeah, that's how the times I had to get Narcan. Anytime I ever OD'd and died was off fentanyl. It was 3 times.
Oh wow!
And then one of those times was actually snorting fentanyl.
Damn.
But,
must have been some stout fucking fentanyl out there or something you got a hold of.
Well, it's just fentanyl is just so strong, and the fentanyl we're getting in California right now is a lot stronger than the fentanyl you get in a lot of other regions. You know, like I said, the fentanyl, when the DEA is testing their seizures of fentanyl that are coming in California, I mean, we're getting stuff that there's some stuff that's like even higher, it's like 25%. That means a quarter of that little glob of fentanyl that you put on foil or you put to snort is going to be just real ass fentanyl, pure fentanyl. That shit's fucking crazy.
Yeah. See, people don't need to be doing that shit. They'll be like, there's been many cases where people just fall over dead because they get a hold of some really strong fentanyl. And
so about like a week and a half ago, my ex called. You know, I talk to my ex like, you know, pretty frequently. She's in jail right now, but she calls me like pretty frequently when we talk. And she had
sucks.
Nah, she's retarded. But like, so she called me and I picked up her friend. So I picked up her friend from jail. So I picked up a friend from jail, and you know, I hadn't met her friend before, so it was my first time meeting her, and you know, we hung out all night, and she was telling me, because she got locked up for slinging fentanyl, and she got caught with like a couple ounces of fentanyl on her or something like that, and she was telling me like that, like there's like only like a few things you can really like use to cut fentanyl, but like she cuts her fentanyl like a certain way basically, so that for people who get it still get pretty high, but like they don't get like too crazy high, you know what I mean? But like she was telling me too that like to cut fentanyl, you gotta do it the right way, or else like you can you know, you'll get too much hot spots, and it's a little tricky because fentanyl is just so potent as it is, you know. Damn. And you have a lot of people right now who are just, you know, dying off that shit because there's just a lot of ignorance, you know, as far as like how fentanyl really can fuck you up, and not really a lot of respect for the drug either, unfortunately.
I would think whoever has like the most uncut fentanyl if they're the ones distributing it, then they need to take on the responsibility of making sure that, okay, this batch is not going out and is going to kill people off the first, whatever they do. And yeah, there's all kinds of horror stories about that stuff.
Yeah, it's just as far as when you get it from Mexico or whatever, cartels or whatever, it's just they don't really right now. They're just it's a it's a gold mine for them, so they're just flooding the streets with it, and just they're more focused on making money from it, and just like I said, milking that gold mine, because right now that's just a fucking lottery ticket for them.
What about all the poppy and opium overseas in like Afghanistan and stuff? Like, people get fucked up on that. I know.
Off of opium.
Yeah, like they were saying, like a percentage of our
opium,
opium that gets over here is from Afghanistan or whatever.
I'd say as far as so when it comes to like the actual opium, the actual drug opium, I don't really know many people who actually do opium. I've only come across opium once in my whole life, and my friend gave it to me for free, because no one wanted it, and you have to turn it into flake, so you have to put it in the oven and shit, and it's super weak. Opium really only gets you high if you have zero fucking tolerance to opioids or opiates. For somebody who even takes a few Vicodin, a few times a week, or fucks around with Vicodin or something shit like that, your tolerance for opium, it's not going to get you that high. When I tried opium, I was fucking around with anywhere from 90 to sometimes 200 milligrams of oxycodone at a time, and I wasn't even into heroin yet, and I couldn't feel the opium barely at all. It was awful. It's a trashy thing to do if you don't fucking if you have any sort of tolerance to opiates or opioids.
Yeah,
I mean, it's good if you're into lean and weak ass shit like that, but if you're even if you're any sort of semi-serious user, opium isn't gonna do that much for you, in my opinion.
Wow. Yeah.
But as far as Afghanistan though, I mean, that doesn't have any effect on the heroin trade in the U.S. It's all cartels. It's all Mexico right now. Period. No matter what drug you're doing out here, the cartels 9.5 times out of 10, they have a hand in it somehow. Yeah, it's just the way it is.
I thought the opium coming from Afghanistan to over here is controlled to a degree from our country. Our country controls the intake of it. There's some. I know there's a lot of places that probably do research.
Well, the thing is that with the opium, or with the precursors to heroin, we'll put it like that, with the precursors to heroin that are in Afghanistan, that's really good. It's probably more for the European and northern or African part of the heroin trade. Because I've seen documentaries and stuff like that too, and the issues they have out there in northern Africa and northern African region, and Europe, and maybe little pockets of the Middle East and India or something that have issues with heroin and stuff like that. I'd assume it'd be from that side, because in Mexico they do everything. Everything's in house. At one point in time, years ago, I believe some of the Colombian cartels and Central American outfits had some hand in the precursors to heroin and other forms of selling heroin as well. But nowadays, that's next to nothing. It's all Mexican cartel dominated.
Yeah,
cartels
think about it. They're the closest ones. They're
just
right next door.
There's never been anything like it as far as the Mexican cartels.
Yeah, them damn old cartels, boy. They have some control around them regions.
And of course, we know on the street level, when it comes to street shit, Mexicans run shit, on a level that hasn't been seen either. So those two kind of combine to, create a sort of a synthesis of monopoly, two monopolies on those markets coming together, really.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna make sure they get their cut, and their cut's never gonna stop. But if America is trying to I don't know. I mean, I don't trust anything the government does nowadays. I mean, they could freaking be secretly letting the shit in at times. They probably don't want the little people to bring it in. They want to have a control of it, probably.
Well, I mean, as far as with that, as far as just like letting stuff in and stuff like that, I mean, on a high up level, like what was that documentary that came out a couple years ago with that dude who came out with that info about the CIA being there when Kiko Camarena got killed? Let me look that up. Hold on. If someone in the chat knows, speak. Let me look a brother up. Let's see.
I just heard about like Snowden, but I don't even know if that's the same incident or not.
Different. The Last Narco. There we go. The Last Narco.
Yeah.
Okay, The Last Narco, released on 2020 on Amazon Prime Video, is a miniseries which depicts the kidnapping of Camarena and the events leading up to it. So basically, Kiki Camarena, for those familiar, was DEA agent over in Mexico who I don't know his well, it says in Wikipedia calls him an American intelligence officer for the DEA. So yeah, he was like, I guess like you say, like a mid-level DEA agent, like on the ground in Mexico, and basically the cartels who were dominant and the A's at the time got a hold of him. They tortured the fuck out of him, did some crazy brutal shit, and then killed him. And
damn,
a good number of people have come out with info, like police officers from Mexico and other officials, and those on that level have come out since then and basically said that there were members of the CIA, including ones who were like buddy with like Oliver North and that whole George Bush weird crowd of mutants who were basically present there at his like murder and torture and shit. So like on those very, very high levels, there has to be some sort of collusion between cartels and like the biggest money players and the government officials, stuff like that. There has to be like the cartels in Mexico are so big to where they're no longer just a criminal organization; they're a paramilitary organization. They're really kind of their own sort of unofficial government entity. You cannot have that much money and that much manpower and that much resources and still be just a gang or just a trafficking organization. You've gone above and beyond what the underworld can allow you to do, and you've really kind of eclipsed all that and become something completely new and different that supersedes all that shit.
Man, this shit's so powerful just hearing about it. Let's see what this fool's saying.
Is awaiting a prison sentence, but everyone, I can't tell you how many people that I've known and seen and watched kill themselves over the past 20 years. Really past 30 years, but the past 20s, it's really kicked it off. Like all the guys that I used to run with and party with, 9/10 of them are dead. You hear it, you see it. If you watch my videos when I talk and interact with other people, you heard the thing when I was talking with Eric. Everyone I was friends with and party with is dead. All goners. So that's kind of cool, I'm still here ticking, and like I said, I know a lot of guys that are dead and goners and didn't even do drugs. I've had, I'm 50. There's more than half of the guys that I hung out with are dead. That's for sure. But there's not that many of us left. Well, the ones that are of us that are left, I'm the only one that's a recovering addict. How about that? I think I'm the only one out of all the dudes that, that I graduated with and I'm friends Facebook with and all that. All those guys, none of them, I don't think any of those guys had ADHD, mental problems, addiction problems. Both my grandfathers died alcoholics. Okay, both of my grandfathers both died alcoholics. Because they were alcoholics, my mom and dad, they didn't really drink, very, very, very little. So I got the I got the messed up gene over and above. Even if I wouldn't have been born without HD, whatever ADHD, the chances I would have been a family of an addict, alcoholic, whatever. We're gonna be up there. And so even after I get this baseball cut out of my fucking arm, my buddy's been at the hospital twice for his neck's swollen up. He's got
Yeah.
I can't even explain to you how dangerous that is. You're like, you're pretty much at any moment you can die. That shit, you can go wrong in the hospital and you're dead when you're dealing with.
Yeah, Fargo, I don't know if you were around when we were talking about doing the shots in the neck. Have you ever heard any scary stories about that stuff?
I've seen people shit in their neck before. It's
like an abscess in the neck. God, that would kill you.
It's semi-common, I guess. I almost okay. So there's been a couple occasions where this happened, but I've never used needles before. But I did a couple times almost boof it. I just pushed it out at the very end.
He's like, I don't want to deal with that later, huh?
No, my ex was fucking pissed at me because it was our last bit of black, and she was gonna do it because I'm not gonna do it myself. I just no way. And she was gonna do it, and then I was like, no, I don't want it. So she was pissed because that basically just wasted our black because you can't smoke it. You fucked it. You already liquefied it. But yeah, it was
that's right, Powwow. Yeah,
I still would try it though. I think I still would try it. I can't do it myself. Like I'd have to have a girl do it. There's no way I can do it myself.
What for?
The boof hit.
That
turkey base.
You can't trust yourself.
To do it myself. Yeah, I'd like to put something on my butt. Like I don't know, man. It'd be like it'd be just freaking out.
Well, maybe when it comes to that, you don't go so deep. Maybe it's just kind of like I don't know. I've never done that before.
Yeah, I've never done. That's what I'm saying.
I've gotten curious about it at times, but I've never seen any evidence on the internet.
You'd be surprised, how many people who act like guys, like guys. You hear that, they do black, and once they split with their current chick or whatever, and you can talk to them later, like, oh yeah, he's the boof, he's the boof all the time. Because there's some guys who do it because they're not out about it, but they do it because of fucking their veins are shot and shit.
Powwow, do you use, or is that like an abscess from something else or whatever? You may need to get some antibiotics, dude. You may have to go to the doctor for that. Of course, I'm not an abscess specialist. I don't know. I would just think that it would take an actual doctor's prescription of antibiotics to combat that stuff,
Yeah, if you have an abscess, I definitely stop watching this.
Oh, whatever, JDS.
Go to
Damn. All right, man. No judgment here. Just wondering.
What do you?
That's got to be a tough ride, man, to be dealing with shit like that.
What do you use, Powwow? It's so weird to talk to somebody like this on the chat because you're waiting for them to respond to shit.
I thought they were talking about what's his name, Mike's voice, Stalker Mike.
Mike does have a very annoying voice. He has a fucking annoying ass voice, actually.
Well, in his mind, he has the voice that's going to entertain millions. He dreams it. He believes it. He's added a bunch of videos, like when I stream something like a game or something, I don't expect that video to have like high views. I don't expect it to be a turning point in my career, if there is such thing as that. All these like this is a filler. This is all filler, no killer, And I don't know. This was the most recent one.
Except not putting poison in your body and missing. I'm telling you, I've been through it. I lived it years and years. It's fucking hell.
Yeah,
so
right.
After that, my dumb ass still hadn't learned my lesson. I did it again. I got another abscess, like a month or two. It was very soon right after. It wasn't that long at all. And I tripped on that one. I was like, oh Lord, oh no, because.
Well, quick question: how do you know if it's going to go bad? And it's like you say you miss, right? And then is there like a sudden pain in that spot, and you're
I
like,
think
oh, I know
I've
that
seen
didn't.
people. I mean, I've seen people fuck up their shot, and someone like get an abscess like that.
How many days does it take for that shit to start? Man, I bet that's the worst thing to get, dude. Shit. I hope you're gonna be okay, powwow. Just be careful, man. Damn. I've never heard of these tips with the hot dog water or anything. Still, it says about a day. Shit.
As far as someone don't get me started. Why did I get in opiates? Because I got into opiates because that was the drug I tried when I was like 17 that really clicked with me, that I really liked, really. And that's kind of as simple as it came down to. I tried, so the first opiate I ever fucked with was Norcos. And before Norcos, I had tried, I don't know if I had smoked weed yet, but no, before Norcos, I hadn't smoked weed or anything yet. Norcos was really actually the first substance period I ever fucked with was Norcos. Norcos was the very first.
So you don't like when it comes to like benzos or opiates or whatever. I don't even know the correct terminology for this shit. Which one was your favorite between the two?
Like different classes, like stimulants versus downers, or
because I know like benzos and shit's like Xanax and stuff. That's more of like does that control like the anxiety aspect, like your blood pressure and all that? And
benzos is
nerve.
Like, I mean, obviously people combine them a lot. Obviously, it's super dangerous and super tricky.
I've heard that.
So like, I like benzos, but I don't really do them that often. It's not really a type of drug I want to do every day. Like, it just, when I'm in the mood for it, I'll try to get it. If not, I don't really care. I'm just not I like benzos. I'm just not like a person who's like, oh, like obsessed with it, like some people. But benzos are really they just kind of chill you out. Really, there's no super euphoria to them in the way that people traditionally, would describe like an opiate euphoria or even a stimulant sort of euphoria. It's a very mild, sort of muted euphoria with just a kind of nice all around relaxation. Valium is probably like the most like euphoric sort of buzz, but that's a lot, so people don't really do that much nowadays. Now stimulants, I mean, obviously I smoke meth every day, but like, I don't like, get super spun every day. I just smoke like.
Well, how do you manage that stuff? Because like, I know like with the heroin usage, you have to get a dose a day, right? Or you'll be sick.
Right.
Like that one's just to straighten you out. But like, how do you mix doing the meth as a recreational fun as against something that's, well, I've got to have this heroin in me or else I'm not going to be able to function,
Oh, with meth,
is that kind of deadly to
meth? There's no come down. There's no physical dependency or aspects of physical addiction with any sort of amphetamine or methamphetamine or any stimulant. So you can just stop using it and you'll be fine. That's it. But as far as like my functional, like the functional high aspect of it, because obviously I'm not doing it to, the recreational aspects of all these drugs left a long time ago. I mean, but like, as far as like use it so I can, be where I want to be at. I mean, if I have meth on me, I'll probably try to use like I'll use like maybe a half gram a day for that. Or no,
but I mean,
like
is it like a weird feeling mixing those two? Because one of them you have to kind of survive, and the other you do for fun because it too gives you like a euphoric feeling. So,
meth is
damn. That's not a even powwow says that's kind of a good blend.
Yeah, it's basically like the main in the West Coast. Go California in general. The main combination right now is going to be meth and either heroin or meth and fentanyl. But yeah, I mean, it's just they just pair well together as far as like keeping you like awake at a good level. And I mean, I don't even know what I would say with opiates because it does different things for different people. But yeah, meth. I'd say about like half gram to like 0.75 a day usually. Sometimes I'll hot rail it, but usually just smoke it. But yeah, unless I go like actually, you know what? Yeah, about a half gram to 0.75. Is basically like what I would use every day of meth if I have on me.
JDS says Vicodin did him dirty. Never mix Xanax and Vicodin. I always kind of thought they were the same. Kinda. I know they're not, but
I mean, that was years ago, before the day of the fentanyl and before heroin even got big. The favorite combination of a lot of people was oxy and Xanax. The thing with those is that they're two depressants, so you're putting double the stress on your breathing and whatnot. So you got to be careful because it's a lot easier to die and OD that way.
Yeah, I noticed you really harp on the whole breathing thing. Is that one of the first symptoms of like knowing you're in trouble? Is your breathing's kind of off?
Well, I mean, with heroin, I've never truly OD'd off heroin, so I can't really say. Like I've definitely taken way too much, but I've never like fully really OD'd. But I know with fentanyl, like you can't tell because you're gone. So you kind of have to have somebody around you to catch that, because with fentanyl, once you do too much, you black out, you're done, you're gone. You start basically getting stiff pretty much almost right away.
Yeah, I know. And you were saying that shit last week. I was like, damn, that's got to be scary. Like, and you woke up to that, like you were like, God, why do I feel like I almost died?
Well, you usually wake up like, what the fuck?
It's like you were hitting rigor mortis,
Yeah, the worst time was when the worst time was definitely when actually I don't know. It's probably tied. The worst time was definitely a tie between when I was at my ex's house, my most recent ex, and I woke up to fucking ambulance so fucking paramedics were there, and like it was just a mess. But the second time I had died off that shit was with another ex, and like that was probably shitty because when I woke up, like you felt like the pins and needles of like the blood coming back, so it was weird. It's a very surreal feeling because you feel like the blood come back. It's just bizarre. As far as if I want to get off them, yeah, but it's kind of like in that weird purgatory state right now, to where you're just doing whatever to get to the day. And
I don't think you truly want to get off. I think this is just like a lifestyle that you've adopted and grown into. And I mean, you don't sound like you're, you don't sound like you're like like off of like you're just totally lost. I mean, you sound coherent. You sound like you manage it fairly well.
It's hard to say because so many people. It's just so everyone digests and processes drug use, and the lifestyle differently. And
guys, it's his choice. If he wants to do it, he can.
And as far as
I don't need people like Michael giving these videos of his glory years. Right, Michael?
Well, Michael.
Yeah, he's watching. I knew he would be.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I know he's watching. But Michael, unless you get on the panel, I'm not going to talk to you because you don't know how to like type super legibly, and that bothers me because like just like you, I have ADD, and like so it bothers me when people
can we join your club, Michael?
But damn, you messed my train of thought. That must be the ADD.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I definitely know I have to get off them one day, and there's definitely desire. There's a little bit of desire too, but at this very moment, my main concerns aren't really quitting drugs. Quitting drugs to me would be something to come when all the other aspects that come with a drug-free lifestyle, or what people consider a positive lifestyle, kind of come first. Once I, get my life in order a little bit better and a little more established on my feet, then I can deal with, okay, now I can, wean myself off this. But that's one thing that people don't realize with the whole, choice thing versus addiction is a disease thing. It's really kind of in the middle ground, and it's really what you would kind of consider a psychosocial affliction. It's not a traditional disorder and oh shit, I got cancer and I'm on chemo, or oh shit, I have fucking really bad pneumonia and I have to go be in a bubble in a hospital. And it's definitely not a thing to where like, oh yeah, I go to my dealer every day because this robotic fucking minion inside of me forcing me to do this type shit. It's a psychosocial disorder that kind of a mix of outside, external, largely social factors and kind of inherent biological factors that you can't really change, but it's a mix of that. So as far as people who really hammer on the whole choice thing, that's fucking retarded. As far as people who hammer on the whole fucking NA bullshit, that's retarded. The addiction is a disease, 100% sort of theology, that too is fucking retarded. It's like I said, it's a psychosocial issue that a lot of people don't seem to have a good grasp on, even people who do the drugs.
Yeah, it's like they want to display a drug user as someone that's like dirty, homeless, on the streets, eating out of trash barrels, and that's not always the case. I mean, you've got your addicts far and wide, like they all have different, routines and stuff like that. And I guess there can be like a clean junkie, not like a clean junkie, but someone that I guess is able to manage it well. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
The main issue really comes from the fact that of the legality of it and kind of the social stigmas that come with it.
Yeah.
The legality of it, it's once you put something in, once you make something, once you push something to the level to where it has to be classified as under in an unregulated market, or I fuck that up. But once they push you to an unregulated market to buy something, and a market to where like you might go to fucking lose everything that's valuable to being a normal and essential to being a normal human being, and locked in a cell somewhere and forced to join a gang to survive. Like once you put someone in that category, it's a whole different fucking ballgame. If something was controlled, if it was pure, if you could buy it in a controlled setting and a socially acceptable setting, that would definitely, in my opinion, alleviate the vast majority of the issues that you see nowadays with drugs and drug use. Because a lot of the issues that you see with drug use are really issues that come with the lifestyle, even the medical and physical afflictions that come with drug use and drug abuse. A lot of times are paired with the lifestyle. Being homeless and on the streets does a lot of damage to your body in all sorts of little different ways that people don't even realize, that don't have to do with drugs, Whereas if someone's put in a situation where they can have a decent, solid life and, get whatever therapy they need or whatever and still use, or maybe wean themselves off drugs over time, it's like that'd be, a whole different environment, a whole different culture really for drug users and drugs in general.
Yeah, like I started to think that people that you see that look dirty and hungry and poor and homeless that are active users, that's probably the result of using the drug for so long. You eventually lose everything, right? Your friends, family, house, car,
that pairs
job.
With that whole, the social stigma of it, and that other aspect of it that doesn't have to do with the actual, just simply physical damage that it may or may not or can potentially do. That's where that all comes into play, because once everyone or the majority of the people in your life and that circle of human beings that's around you on a near day in day out basis, once they know that, oh shit, John over here fucking uses heroin every day, or uses crack every day, or whatever, like things are gonna change. Trust me, their whole opinion of you is gonna change. But, that's just the way shit is. And then of course, to me, the even worse shit that comes with it, of course, is that like, oh shit, I could go to jail. Oh shit, because of this, I can't get a normal job and I can't have a normal lifestyle, so I have to go to another subsection of society to do what I need to do, so I can go to prison for that. That's really where a lot of those issues come into play, and really,
I think people ending up in jail for possession is probably a huge amount of people locked up. They simply get caught with it, and they have hefty sentences.
The thing is, like, sentence. So, like, I don't know. I can only speak for my area of California, but I mean, out here, simple possession is a misdemeanor. So
DGMS.
I mean I kind of just
Nah.
it's all over the place. I just know how things are out where I'm at, and like so, like simple possession is going to be like a misdemeanor. Obviously, in my case, for whatever reason, if I get caught with whatever I may or may not have on me, it's going to be a felony. Um, but yeah, so like let's say if it's just like a normal everyday drug user who may or may not, allegedly have sales or quantities or weight on them or whatever, like um it just they might go to prison, but like, dude, like there's people out here who legit get caught with like some serious ass weight, and because of the overcrowding system, they don't even go to prison.
Yeah, I was
Like,
thinking there needs to be some kind of, instead of locking up people that have been caught with drugs and they get these 20-year sentences and shit like that, don't put them in prison with like murderers and rapists. Put them in a facility that's like,
oh yeah, way different.
where
Yeah.
it sobers them up, where it's not like a jail, like a forced detox kind of thing combined with a work program. I'm sure jail and prison kind of has something like that in place, but they have a lot to transition from, coming from that kind of, because when they first show up, they have to retrain their brain for survival to be in that place, and then they're there for so long that when they leave, they're more apt to coming back because they've already been there. It wouldn't, I mean, it's almost like being free is taking a vacation from jail, you know?
Yeah, it's a
And they
weird
never
like
get away from.
like it's weird like how the stories you hear of people who like because of like third strike laws and shit like that end up doing life in prison, or because of crazy laws back in the day, they got thrown in prison for life for fucking selling a half ounce or something small like that. Like really selling drugs, like it's not necessarily a victimless crime, but it's a mostly harmless crime, if that makes sense. Like it's not a victimless crime in that like chances are you're going to sell drugs to somebody who because of whatever you're selling them is going to fuck up in some aspect of life, or not be at their best aspect of life or whatever. But it's a pretty harmless drug because or pretty harmless crime, because for the most part you're not out there like selling to like little kids and shit. Like, well, I mean, you're not selling to little kids and shit like that. You're not on the street corner trying to fuck up single moms. Like you don't do shit like that. Like um they're not as drug dealers by and large are not as predatory as they're made out to be, and like retarded ass like CBS shows and shit like that. um it's a crime that really shouldn't be treated on the level that it is. Even traffickers, like it's just not a crime that's up there with anywhere near like murder, and it's definitely nowhere near like rape or something like that.
Yeah, like what if you get like the big cheese of the Hill operation and that guy's the one, run all the drugs and he gets 100-something years? Like that's a waste of a potential future in life. I mean,
Yeah, like
you can't make a man pay for something that he did 20 years ago over and over every day.
I mean, look at a good example.
For forever. I mean,
yeah, I think a good example is Seth Fronte, bad. Gorilla Convict, the way I know him, that is serious. Shows he has a lot of crazy, or he had a lot of crazy potential for those 20 years he was locked up. He did all sorts of dope shit. Like he's a super talented, super smart guy, obviously. And it's cool that now he's doing a lot of dope shit. But it sucks because that was definitely a waste of talent, and we'll never know what those years could have produced. But there's a bunch of more other people like him who are still locked up, unfortunately. I mean, that really is a waste of contributions to society that I now will never know about.
yeah, like man, think about 20 fucking years passing by, dude. It's man, you're not even the same you anymore, and just for some possession, you were once like a hardcore dealer and stuff like that. Like, I mean, man. But I think that's their way of trying to like get people to stop. But it's not going to stop. You got people that choose to do it, and that's just the risk. I mean, they're gambling with their freedom, basically.
Yeah,
And,
it's a definitely. I mean, dealing drugs is definitely something that, for the most part, is once you start getting charges. That's the thing, is once you start getting charges and once you start getting the system, and once you're a felon, it's definitely a modern, scarlet letter, right? Like it's one of those things that'll definitely, throw a kink in your operations for probably the rest of your life, for the most part. Nowadays, I mean, it's definitely a little better than things were 20 years ago, but still it's pretty rough, to be a felon with that shit on your record.
What's the Chosen One community? Are they like a drug?
Okay, so I was
tubing?
just
You
I
know
just
about them or?
oh I just looked at the chat right now. So Chosen One. So like, I noticed after like Software Underbelly became popular, you had a lot of copycats.
I'll write that down. Check that out.
A lot of copycats who try to do what Mark with Software Underbelly does, but like in a way just like more amateur, D-level, great value version of it. And like Chosen One is one of those. And then
you say Soft White is
so Soft
better.
Soft White's like the gold standard for that shit. As far as like interviewing addicts or people with like fucked off lives or whatever who really have lived, pretty interesting fucked off lives, like Software Underbelly is like the gold standard because Mark is an actually creative, talented, artistically tapped in dude. Whereas with like whoever runs the Chosen One or like Tales from the Streets, they're fucking retards. Like they don't have the vocab, they don't have the critical thinking skills, they don't even have the sympathies or sensibilities or empathy to really dial in and produce an interview that just doesn't come out as some sort of weird, like voyeuristic fetishizing of like their subject. Like if Chosen One,
curious.
He just like these dudes just interview basically homeless people and like and drug addicts and whatnot, and like but that's it. It just comes off, like I said, as a very voyeuristic view of this shit and a very exploitative approach to it too. Whereas Software Underbelly, like the way he does it is so artful and just done so well that it's really something a lot deeper than just a normal interview.
Well, I've came to believe that you've
got
got different.
Sharon comes from. I just found that out like not too long ago. That's where Sharon she comes from. Like Chosen One. I think she was interviewed by him or something. And what I've noticed with Chosen One, he's based in Detroit, and he like the Bobbles crowd. They come from that. Like there's so many people who just like I don't know, man, they're fucking weirdos. Like in California, this we call weirdos. Like they're fucking weirdos. Like they're just lames. Like these people who are just.
Is it that bad? I mean, damn. I thought my channel was terrible.
Well, I think these the people who like watch. I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of these people who watch like Chosen One. Or one or whatever call themselves.
Any celebs come through there? Hey, Mike, we need to get you on there. I know you're still watching. Let's
see. Celebs, as far as like, no, there's been like, there's been a rapper on there who's pretty dope. Well, I mean, he's not really known to most people, but people who like fuck with like LA gang slide type rap, they kind of know him. But
I think they're live now.
There's also I mean, Sharp is like probably the most well known now. Sharp, that pimp guy who's now has a show on No Jumper because he was interviewed on Software Underbelly.
Is this these guys Chosen One?
Yeah, that's the guy who runs it, I think. Yeah, see, he's has no sort of artistic or creative abilities. He just goes and interviews people on the show. That's what people don't realize. Like you can't just.
So what do they do on his lives? I mean, does he just talk?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't really. I haven't seen too many Chosen One shit because, like I was saying,
JT, how you doing?
It's
had a chance to get on here and thought I'd get on for a couple minutes.
It's the great value Software Underbelly.
How you doing?
I'd rather just watch
sleep music.
He just doesn't do photos, huh?
Those videos that I that's what I made them for.
Look, tipping a beer. Yeah, we're all here discussing drug usage, and we're tipping a beer.
Like stuff like that. You'd rather listen to music. I found that if I listen to music, the
are they a big channel?
Like words.
This guy got a lot of subs.
Just listen to like wind or something like
not a ton. Like Software Underbelly has over 1 million, I think. But
seems to work better.
Yeah, Software Underbelly. That dude, the way he puts it together is like you said. It's got art to it,
Yeah, he does it well. He's actually like artistically and creatively inclined dude. He's a talented dude, so he does it in a way that's exceptional. And
hey Daniel, how you doing?
He pays a lot of money though.
It's very aesthetically.
You're in New Orleans, aren't you? Hey Rascal.
Yeah,
it's the first live I've had in a long time.
It just really has a strong, aesthetic quality. The aesthetics are on point with that, which is, aesthetics when it comes to the style of the way you put out your content really does, matter. And in Mark's case, he kills it on that end. And
do you think we can get Mars on the Chosen One, or maybe Michael?
I don't know. We might. I don't think we would be able to be where we, because they have to be like homeless and like on the streets and like really fucked off.
Yeah, let me throw that guy a sub and see.
Oh, there was this
maybe I can
channel,
catch something later or something.
If you wanted to see something weird, there was this channel that like was like tracking people who got interviewed by the Chosen One who got murdered like not too long after, and like was trying to make it seem that a serial killer was like tracking them. It's some weirdo shit, man. You got to check it out. If anybody in the chat knows, please bring that up, because that'd be a good thing to watch right now. There's this chick, dude, who made a channel, because like several people who got interviewed by that dude who runs Chosen One, like they were like prostitute bitches, and they fucking were like drug addicts, and they got killed not too long after. And yeah, some bitch was trying to be like, oh yeah, like fuck, what was it, like there was like a serial killer, or that he was a serial killer. I think so. Like, obviously he isn't, but like I'm just saying, like, some people were insinuating that there was maybe a serial killer like following his people and shit. Like, it's a trip, dude. Like, it was fucking weird. But I mean, this is in Detroit, and Detroit is like, it's Detroit. Everyone knows how Detroit is. It's rough as fuck out there. But I mean, I don't know. I read somewhere the southwest part of Detroit. Southwest part of Detroit has had some good rappers recently. If anybody wants to check it out, look up White House Studios on YouTube if you like rap. There's like a channel that has this new little clique of rappers from Southwest Detroit. It's really dope shit. Lost and Nutty are their names, 2 rappers. There you go. Which is kind of it's a sidetracking, but
Yeah, there's a handful of rappers out of Detroit.
Well, I'm saying Southwest, right? South, so like, East, a different side of Detroit have different styles of rap and shit.
Really? So these people have. I wonder if he goes through all the drug communities and kind of checks people out, and
yeah. See, like, how does this operate? Because, like, I don't know, like how do you go up to these motherfuckers and like get an interview when you're that slimy of like a person, like, and especially when you're like, I don't know, man. It's way harder to be. I know it has to be way harder to be a girl and homeless. You know what I mean? So if some predatory dude comes up to you like this, like, dude, if I was a girl, I would.
He confronts people.
I don't think he confronts them, but like he has to engage them, right? So like, if I was a girl on the streets, dude, I would not fuck with any weird looking ugly old dude like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like, I don't think any female would be willing to talk to that guy. I mean, if that type of guy just,
it seems so much harder to be a girl on the streets than a guy. You know what I mean? Like, you deal with so many more crazy ass issues, dude. For sure.
They say something like, "Well, what's this all about?" Oh, well, it's a YouTube channel. They'll be like, "Well, where's my cut?" Because I'd make somebody like that pay me for my story.
Yeah, I mean, which obviously, see, what the thing is too is that, like, with Software Underbelly, I mean, it's different, but like, okay, so number one rule when it comes to interviewing people is you don't pay for interviews. That just fucks off. You're fucking off all your integrity right off the bat. Anybody who like pays the people they're interviewing, with a few exceptions, like if you're doing it as an actual production, like Software Underbelly does, I can see that. But if you're just doing normal street interviews and you're paying people, you're fucked off from the get-go. Like, your integrity is zero.
Yeah.
Like, you're done to me. Like, if you pay, you're fucked off. Yeah, but I mean, that's partly because of my
that dude, he pays them for their time, but he knows what they're going to turn around and do with that money. You know what I mean? He's not stupid. Like, so much of his money has went out the window to buy some crack.
Also,
buy a prostitute. He knows where that money's going, but
these are people who sometimes, they have something. They have a habit, an addiction, a monkey on their back that requires a certain percentage of money, or a certain dollar amount, even if they're not buying it every day, but a certain dollar amount every day goes to that. And these are people who are on the exact opposite end of those who usually bring in a normal income. So sometimes all they have to bring in is their word. So sometimes, because you're paying them for that, they have a lot more incentive to lie and bullshit and come up with a more grand grandiose, I think I'm pronouncing right, sort of story. It's sort of mythical fucking story to tell you in order to be able to be the one that gets the camera action that day, so then they get the fucking 20, 30, whatever dollar amount, so they can, get that habit fixed for the 24
Yeah, check it out. That MARC guy, he said that like not only has he come across people that lied, like they were being fake about their interview. Like they fake it to try to make it look really good, but like he actually ultimately decides whose video is going to make it or not, And one more point I was going to say is it's not just about giving them money and they sign a little waiver and they walk away after a video. It's like he's actually helped a lot of people. Like I don't mean help as in like, here, let me help you. Like, yes, it is help because someone's funding you. But he's helped like one chick get like an apartment and a car, and she just turned around and was giving it all back to her pimp. And I commented on one of his videos. I was like, man, I bet you both their outfits came from MARC. You know what I mean? Like, she turned around. He feels sympathy for him and tries to legitimately help him, like behind the scenes, and they just keep doing the same shit. It's just like, sad.
That's the thing, like, when it comes to interviewing prostitutes, with pimps, when it comes to running a game on somebody, West Coast got like, a top tier fucking pimp and prostitute system. You know what I mean? When it comes to game runners, they're the ones that are gonna fucking, they're gonna win every time. You know what I mean? So when the guy comes into play,
House always wins.
He's gonna get hustled sometimes. You know what I mean? And with the royalty and their pimp, who I believe is actually allegedly from Harlem 30s Crip. He got hustled, it happens. But I mean, it's not really his fault per se. He just got hustled because, he was trying to help him out, and hey, it happens, man. You get hustled with that shit. And in his case,
they look at him like a bag,
No. Yeah, but
like, oh, that guy likes you. Well, here, see if you can get this much amount out of him.
You can kind of tell. I think I watched Software Underbelly. I think I've been watching that shit almost every day now for well over a year, and like you can tell who's telling the truth, who's stretching the truth, and who's just playing games. You know what I mean? Once you watch it, and plus, if you've been around this world long enough, you kind of know what's up.
Yeah, he I feel bad that he actually went out of his way to help people, especially like he'd buy them phones or help them get jobs, and it's like, dude, you're doing a good thing, you're doing the right thing, but it has to be painful to know that
sure,
all you're getting out of it is a video that's epic, and it's gonna have an impact on people's lives when they watch it and whatnot.
He's one of those dudes.
What's the price of that, though?
If you watch that interview he did with No Jumper, he had a pretty good interview with Adam 22. And if you watch the interview,
I saw that one. I've seen all the ones he did. I think there were interviews on him.
Yeah, you can tell the type of dude he is. He's one of those dudes who's so devoted and passionate and addicted to his craft to where like it doesn't matter. Like he's gonna do it regardless. Like it's just that passion is so set in stone and so permanent inside of him that that's who he is. He'll do that shit no matter what. Which is kind of the type of people who need to be in that environment. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the Michaels or the Mars Worlds of the world who, are going to succeed at that. It's going to be dudes like that where the passion for their art and their craft is so strong and intense that like they're so good at it and they're going to do it day in, day out, fucking regardless. And they're going to fight for that shit. And, they're not going to sleep over it. They're going to fuck themselves over basically for it.
Did you think that maybe... Hold on, where's I going with that? I had an idea, but I might have lost it. When he's bringing these people on, he's interviewing them. He already knows the return's not going to be a whole lot. So, like back to when you were saying like his devotion, like that money doesn't mean anything to him at that point.
That's because I think he already has the money because he did shit for like Apple and Microsoft and shit, like advertising shit.
It feels like he's almost turned into a John. He is that hooker's John at that point.
That's sad to say. I'm sure there's a few hookers who basically use him as one. They basically, they hustle him like that, which is, kind of fucked off of them to do that. But like I said, in his case, you're bound to have that happen, dude. Once you deal with that many, I mean, he's right there dealing with, the most Skid Row, the Skid Rowiest of the Skid Row, you know, and
Yeah.
people like that, like I said, they might not have money in their pocket, but they have their word, you know, in their mouth, and they're going to use that shit to get money in their pocket, regardless. It doesn't matter how strong.
Yeah, they could be running game on him,
Yeah,
and
but-
he thinks he's getting over. Not that he's trying to get over on anyone, but you know, he's trying to stay level-headed. I wonder if he's been tempted. Do you think he's been tempted by hookers? You ever seen videos where chicks be coming in there in their bikinis and shit and their little heels, and they've been walking the streets of Figueroa? And
Yeah, there's some bomb ass chicks that get to there, but
like, I bet he gets tempted at times, man.
yeah, he might, but he doesn't strike me as the type of dude who, I mean, actually, you know, anything can happen, but I don't think he would. I don't think
He's actually picked up some of their lingo.
I don't think he would jeopardize.
He's hanging around pimps so much, he's starting to talk like them. It's funny as shit. I was like, Mark's been peeping game.
Oh yeah, like that's the thing with pimps. That's why pimps are pimps, because they're word, you know. And they can do a whole fucking 2-hour video and make you come out thinking, you know what, that's a good guy. When in reality,
Yeah,
it's not saying a damn thing. That's the thing
that
about
old running that game.
yeah, you know, linguistics. You know, like linguistic gymnastics, right? Like
That's right.
or it's linguistics as gymnastics. You know, like they'll run game like a motherfucker. That's running game. You know, that's what they do. But there are some who are different that definitely stand above. You know, look at Sharp, and now Sharp has his own show, and that's really where he's
Sharp does.
Yeah, no, it's actually really good.
Wow, that guy should have his own show. Like
Yeah.
I've
the
always
moment I
enjoyed
saw
his
it, dude,
content.
Dude, the moment I saw dude, I was like, oh yeah, this guy has it. You know what I
The
mean?
only
Like,
way,
he's got a star.
check this out. The only way I know how to catch Sharp is there's this guy on YouTube called Wildcat. I think he uploads like Sharp's lives. I think he does something like what I do. He'll upload like shit to look at, you know. And
because
yeah, I didn't know Sharp actually had gotten his own show. Like he could really do a good show.
Yeah, he's a man. Like it's funny too, because like he's a good. Like when it comes to just like a good learner, that dude is on point. Because if you watch Sharp on No Jumper, you'll notice.
Well, how do we find his new show? Do you know what it's called?
Just go to the No Jumper YouTube. It's called the Sharp Tank.
What? You mean he does a project with Adam?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah,
So
sure.
Adam took on a second endeavor just for Sharp?
Well, he's been expanding.
You know Sharp's getting paid off of that too.
Oh yeah, because he's an actual employee in a way, or you know whatever.
Yeah, that's
right?
crazy. Holy
But
shit.
yeah, it's called the Sharp Tank. And then actually about I think a day ago or 2 days ago, he interviewed Adam, or he had like a sit down with Adam on No Jumper. It was kind of like a different sort of combo, but it was pretty dope.
Damn. I've only seen like the first interview he had with Adam, and I thought that was like his interview for No Jumper, you know.
Oh, it's crazy though, dude. Because if you watch so if you watch to show how good and natural of a personality is, and how good of a learner and just student of the game he is, like if you watch the first like 2 episodes of Sharp's show, you can kind of tell he hadn't done this before, so he's rough around the edges, kind of amateurish in some regards.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have it tightened up here real soon though.
Check it out. Within literally like 3 episodes, he was like on point. I've never seen somebody. I worked in media for several years, and I have never seen somebody just elevate that quickly and fine tune themselves that quickly and that well. Like pretty much like never. I've never seen someone do that.
Oh yeah, well, same for Sammy the Bull. When Sammy the Bull was getting used to his podcast, the first season he was kind of jumpy at times, but once you get the feel for the camera and the editing and how they're going to do you on the editing booth, you kind of learn, I guess.
Like he just had like because I'm not really into like the whole mafia shit. All that shit's kind of like weird to me. So like I don't really know too much, but he has. I thought he just had like a YouTube channel. He has like a podcast or shit.
Who, Sammy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like going like 2 or 3 years strong. He's on season 4.
Man, once he got a fucking.
I started watching him when he first came out, and it was weird because he would have like at first his episodes were not quite. Maybe he was changing producers or getting all that lined up in the final stages, because when he would make videos, it was just like videos, and then now it's turned into. He has seasons, and there's some narration, there's titles,
Also, he did a full blown fucking media rollout because with that
yeah,
full blown like fucking rollout and shit. Because he did that so to basically get people in, and then he built.
Yeah, it's like you get a hold of a publicist and a manager, and you kind of
That's a
You know,
strategy. Yeah, it's a media strategy that he pulled.
he already fucking knew he was going to get big. Like, the one thing John Gotti did that he was against, he's doing now. And, like, one time, dude asked him, they were like, do you think John Gotti would like social media and the internet and how it is now? He's like, oh, John would have loved it. Yeah, because John Gotti was totally into, like, what's going on now. What Sammy's doing. I bet he's turning in his grave right now.
Yeah, I was thinking about those mafia guys. They love talking.
Well, yeah, now there's money behind it.
Well, I mean, they're all like famously like rats, right? Pretty much like most of those guys ended up being like, ratting in some way or other.
Yeah, well, they've already told their story. They're already X'd out of the mob. Those good years are well behind them. They're not going to ever get them back. So, I mean, they knew there was a market for it. I feel like YouTube has kind of jumped up in the last few years. I was into YouTube before the big bang explosion of like podcasts and podcasters and people making their own, things to go on. And it's just like a thing now. It's like the style nowadays.
Oh, yeah, podcasts are like, when it comes to like establishing when it comes to establishing or developing any sort of media outfit of any sorts, like podcasts nowadays is going to be like at the center of it, if you want to be relevant or, have any.
Everybody loves talk radio all of a sudden. I was listening to talk radio before it was like super popular. Now, like I said, everybody's got a pod now.
Podcasts pretty much are becoming just like, talk radio now.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. Like, considering that's like the style, like I still like to listen to music at times, but nothing beats a good long video that you can just listen to and go, and you kind of learn about the people and things they do. And
yeah, I think I'm trying to think, like, what do I watch and listen to on a day-to-day basis? Trying to think of what I need to look at my YouTube history. I should check that out. No Jumper's obviously is there for sure. No Jumper. Software Underbelly's pretty much almost every day too, but I mean that's not really like a podcast. I'm trying to think.
yeah, I've been thinking about, I don't know if just uploading videos are a thing anymore. Like, I get on YouTube now for the lives. Like, nothing beats a good live show, whether it's a pod or not, and when it comes to shit like that, you kind of pick and choose who you're going to be watching. But,
My bad, my fucking the Wi-Fi died.
No, you're good, man.
Oh, don't get me started as far as cool stories. Fargo,
you got any cool ones?
Yeah, but I don't.
I mean, we can save them for another day if you wanna. Maybe we can feature you as a guest. You can just, instead of this bullshit watching fucking Stalker Mike or fail ass Mars, we'll.
Yeah, I mean, I do, but
you can edit out some names, locations, and.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Maybe one day I'll figure out a way to kind of sort of tell stories, but because of the fact, what I'm currently, active doing, and because of just other reasons.
Yeah, we kind of have a feeling the way things are is the way they are for a reason. So
yeah,
you don't have to explain on that. We all, but
I can figure out a way to weave that in somehow one of these days.
Yeah, we'll have a special kickoff Fargo episode.
But yeah, I mean, it trips me out nowadays how you have so many people who, like, even former drug users and shit like that, like telling stories and shit, because I mean, I don't know, it just trips me out that so many people like are trying to make a name for themselves off stories and shit. Like it really weirds me out. And then you have people like Marsworld who like don't have any stories but still trying to make a name for themselves off stories. They want to live this shit so bad. I do not understand it for life.
He capitalized in the beginning with his pretty face, so now it's just he expects that kind of treatment, you know, like I've already opened my door, so now you all have to come, you know, and it's like, nah, you still kind of got to keep the machine going, you know.
Yeah, like I definitely have a ton of respect for dudes like that prison POV dude because he's someone who just kind of tells it like, you know, tells the stories how they actually happen. Like his stories don't really have like a, I don't know, he seems like a very likable guy, but he has like no like sort of like content creating abilities. So he's just like a solid dude who, you know, lived that life like for real, and he's a solid dude. So like his stories always just seem to come out well. So it's interesting to see dudes like that. I like when I see dudes like that, you know, do well at YouTube because they're dudes who don't put any sort of like you know, fake sort of whipping glamour or mythology in their shit, and it seems to do well. Even though I don't really listen to shit too much or really know too much about it, but I like to see dudes like that win as opposed to dudes who like put a ton of effort into making their channel pop when they don't even have like real stories in the background. They just want to have real stories in the background.
I feel like the whole drug and jail genre has been just stepped on so much that anybody that's ever done any kind of time could just pop up on the internet and make a name for themselves.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now, and it's fucking crazy.
Like, is the world not tired of hearing the underside of shittiness? I mean, yeah, they're interesting stories at times, but if you listen to a good handful of like prison YouTubers, you kind of get the gist of what it would be like to deal with it. Unless you want to hear that stuff, that could be a thing, but over time it's just depressing. And it's like, one time I got to where it was like, dude, all I do is listen to like prison YouTubers. I feel like I'm in prison just dealing with it. Like I'm fucking so tired of hearing about it that I need to hear about the free world, you know. And
with the YouTube algorithm and the way it is, like, because I've watched, you know, a good amount of drug shit and just like documentaries about crime and drugs and like the prison system, like, dude, like YouTube will forever like fucking try to get me to watch bullshit, weird prison shit every once in a while. It's like, dude, I don't want to watch it. I don't care about any of this shit really. Like even you know,
like we're free. We need to be thinking amongst the other free people.
Yeah, like
we need to have that mentality. Like
I'm trying to think of a prison channel that I've actually like watched like day in day out and be like, oh yeah, this is chill, and I can't really think of like one. Yeah, I can't even think of like one. Yeah, I can't even.
They all do cooking videos, and like I said, a lot of that is entertaining, but you don't want to just engulf your attention to that kind of stuff. It's like toxic as hell, you know.
Yeah, I don't know how people can do that shit and be so into this. And it's crazy because most of the people watching all this drug shit or street shit or prison shit, they don't really have any connection to it. I think with the drug shit, I think you do have a lot of addicts watching it for sure. But with a lot of the prison shit, a lot of the street shit, you know, like, you don't know, I feel like a lot of people watching this shit like don't have any sort of connection to this world, and like they watch it and like it's like entertaining to them, but it's like what was that Danny Brown album, Atrocity Exhibition. That's that sort of concept, or the Joy Division song too, right? Atrocity Exhibitor Exhibition. I think that was like the Joy Division version, but the same concept, you know. People sort of like this sort of circus and zoo that is, you know, drug game and streets and prison and all that. Like it's, you know, it's their you know, their Disneyland on the computer screen, you know what I mean? Like it's their fucking adult theme park, you know, access via phone. And it's fucking weird. Like you have so many people now like who are just like into this shit day in, day out, and they watch it. Like I'll look in the comment section, like sometimes I'll click on these prison YouTube videos and I won't even watch the video. I'll just like mute it or just pause it and I'll look in the comment section to see like the same names over and over again. And there's people in there who are fucking groupies for this shit. And it's fucking weird. Like there's people.
Yeah, like, usually you can go to the comment section and check out what kind of a video it's gonna be just by the comments. You know?
It's just entertaining to see some of the weirdos in the comment section and just sometimes read the, you know, read it. But it's like, dude, like there's some people out there who are names who you constantly see in every single fucking little thing that's prison or drug related, and like it's weird. It's weird as fuck. Oh, there's only one. Actually, there is one prison channel that is kind of interesting because I've read the guy's writings before years ago. Michael Russo, who Convict Inc. There we go, Convict Inc. He was interviewed by that guy. Blood on the Razor Wire. I think his name is Chad Marks or something.
Yeah.
He was
Birdman just did a video with him the other day.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. And I'm not really a Blood on the Razor Wire fan, but like, Convict Inc. Like that dude used to he used to which one? He used to be a writer or like kind of like a prison journalist, and like back in the day when people were writing a bunch of stories about like Bernie Madoff and shit, like he was like one of the sources because like he was in prison with Bernie Madoff. So like I knew him beforehand, and since he got free, I've been watching his channel, Convict Inc. It's been out for a couple of months, and his shit's pretty good. His shit is actually interesting because his prison stories, he so far are not like the traditional prison stories. Like, you know, he did time with Bernie Madoff and shit like that, and he just has, you know, a more interesting sort of story than as the usual, you know, prison shit.
Yeah. Well, Michael, your video was so boring that we couldn't even get through it. We ended up getting lost in thought, actually. That goes to show you there's physical proof. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and probably slide out of here. We had a nice long night. He did show up and put his little 2 cents in. I know he's watching, but because this shit's stressful to him. He has to check in and see what's going on. Mike, we need you to bring out some more content, something new. We need to like give you like some kind of like a goal or a task and see if you can film it and complete it. And we watch it, you know, we talk about it. Do you have any requests for Mike?
I mean, out of everyone, I'm probably the one who actually has like the least actual issues with Mike. But I will say,
oh yeah,
Mike, I want to see you go head to head with Mars. I think if you stir the pot with Mars and just talk some shit in a video, and you'll see your channel will trust me. If you want to make your channel crack, I'm talking to you, Michael. If you want to make your channel do well and crack, and you want the bitches and the glory and just the big titty, big ass BBL fake titty bitches and shit, sucking your dick 24/7, eating your ass and shoving the thumb up your butt and all that shit that you.
He's like, I'm married.
You so desire. You want to get rid of that hog bore man pig that you are currently married to. Trust me. Yikes. Make a video, make 2 videos, make 3 videos, make 4 videos, make fucking 2 videos, fucking shit on Mars World. And you will do well in life for what remaining years you have of your life.
I think we had suggested those two. Like, I don't even think they could ever coexist in the same
That's what I'm saying. And
panel.
At the end of the day, Michael, you know, I'm really just kind of fucking with you and trolling with you. But with Mars World, trust me, you wanna go head to head with this dude. This dude will be your will be the arch nemesis that you need to get the comic book series going. That is, you know, the comic series. That is your life to really get going. If you want those movie deals, if you want to be able to have a gay experience in one of those rooms that Cat Williams and Bun B talks about, you know, and get into Hollywood with the weird like gay Illuminati sex parties. If you want that, yeah, there we go. That's the way, is by confronting Mars World.
I think he would hate Mars. I think he would truly hate Mars. They wouldn't get along at all.
See, if he wants to make a hate video towards Mars, you should do that too. And
he'd call him a bird brain and a poser, and he'd really laugh Mars out of the room over the gas station drugs or whatever.
Oh, and also, Michael, please stop going on that Joker dude's channel trying to suck up.
Yeah, we think Joker don't have cancer. We think he's actually got something else wrong with him.
I mean, I don't know.
He's a really bad diabetic.
I don't know if he has or what the deal is, but that dude obviously is in need of some actual real help, and just leave him alone.
I refuse to believe a guy with cancer would be turning up bottles of liquor, getting high, doing drugs, and not have some kind of side effects of like Passing out in the middle of a stream, per se.
Oh, dude, you gotta check this out, dude. I've known of several people who had cancer and they were told a few months to live, and then they started doing more meth and more drugs, and their life got extended by years. Swear to God, the weirdest thing in the world. I've known of plenty of people actually who had cancers and shit, and it went into remission as they were in the throes of crazy meth and heroin addiction. But
damn.
That's not to say that you
I'd be like, if I was on my deathbed with cancer, I'd be like, hit me with some meth. I'll outlive death. I think it would freaking surpass death, and you would live probably.
No, I definitely don't recommend that. But I mean, okay, don't do that. But I actually believe he has cancer now. But I mean, dude, that dude is like, I mean,
nah, he can't have cancer. He'd be in bad shape.
Whoever's trolling him and pretending to be his friend is like the general or whatever. Like, dude, just stop that shit. Like, I was trolling him for a second too. I was fucking with him for a second. So I was like, you know what? This is just too weird. I can't do this. This is weird.
They have some kind of a play thing going on over there, and maybe that's just their brotherhood of camaraderie, but I don't see it.
Maybe it is. Maybe the dude's not trolling him. Maybe he's actually trying to be chill with them. But that's just weird, dude. I don't know. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Michael, just stop sucking up to him though. That's weird. It's fucking. You're a grown ass man with a wife at home and kids and shit. Well, kids who I don't think you're allowed to see anymore because try to take their clothes off or whatever weird shit you did. But yeah, just stop that. It's fucking weird.
Yeah. Well, Mike, there goes your words of wisdom. Oh yeah. There's all kinds of catfish stories out there. Sorry, a friend of mine just sent me a really ironic meme. And it fits the bill, yeah. But unfortunately, YouTube gives people the advantage of airing out their grievances or certain displays of reality, their reality. And unfortunately, we got to deal with it. So here's to new hope that people will come along and join the panel, and we can have some real, like, thorough talks, you know? I'd like to get to the bottom of a lot of shit.
Yeah,
I'm tired of finding these fucking fly-by-night YouTube celebrities.
I really want to see somebody who is really down for the cause and they're really committed to being a train wreck.
We got to get a real druggie up in here. Does anybody know a real drugger on YouTube that films? And we'd be like, hey, come over here and we'll make you a fucking star, man.
Ryan Leone really dropped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But
look, I don't care what Mars or Mike says. We have helped their channel. We have helped them get exposure, video plays, all that good shit. It may not be the way they wanted it, but it works.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Mars World or Mars. Why am I calling him Mars World? Like his fucking name. Mars needs to fucking just make videos. Period. I mean, I don't know what.
Yeah, fuck the dumb shit talking, Mars. Just fucking hit record and tell a story in your car. Fuck.
Yeah,
you don't have to be perfect.
Just stop having such thin skin. God damn.
Yeah.
But I mean, also too, Mars, like fucking let Carlos out to eat and breathe and play ball for an hour. You know?
Yeah, we don't know what you've done with Carlos, but you better free him.
What you've done, like in those cages underneath your house. I don't know what you're doing with
Carlos has been MIA, guys. I need to call him and see if he's okay.
Yeah, free Carlos, y'all.
Free Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos. Hopefully see him next time.
Yeah, we gotta get Carlos up. It's been a while. I want to hear how he's been doing.
Yeah, he just completely like disappeared, huh?
I guess just caught up in life.
Yeah, but his life's he has some issues there, but they aren't drug related. That's the sad part. Because at least if they're like drug related, he could fix them a lot easier. But I'm afraid his issues probably on some other shit.
Yeah. Carlos is a really good guy, and I want to see his path. I want to see his journey, you know. It's more interesting than Mars's, I will say. People love Carlos. They ask about him all the time. Hey, when you bring him back? And I'm like,
yeah, he seems like a pretty personable. guy for some in a weird, like quirky way. He's pretty personable, pretty decent, and he doesn't lie all the time like Mars.
Shit, Carlos will at least answer the phone. He'll at least write you back. Like, he is a human. Like, he does it well. He's never let me down, so shouts out to Carlos. But yeah, Farg, I guess I'm about to get on out, man. Siggy time, so thanks to everybody in the chat that's been coming by, watching. I'm gonna check out the whose channel are you looking for, JD? You looking for Mars World? Let me see if I can pull it up somewhere. Yeah. For the longest time, I like to say that I put out more Mars World content than Mars himself, which I did at one point, but it's been slowing down because he's scared to get on and record. I guess he lets that shit get to him, which he shouldn't. It's just the fucking internet. I mean, people forget about shit the next day. I'm not used to sharing stuff like this on the laptop. If I was on the phone, I could really whip it up, but let's see. I think I have a link I can drop. But yeah, all of his good stuff is not on the internet anymore. Like, he has some good things that are like from his past on there, but he deletes everything now. So let me find you one where he did the Craigslist. That's a good opener for you. I'm gonna send you a link.
Oh, my channel. I don't have a channel. I just go on Cree's channel.
Yeah, Fargo, man, that'd be cool if you had a jam or
Yeah,
a damn panel with a channel with the panel. You know what I mean? We come up, I come up, be a guest.
If you want to hear me rant, just check out Cree's channel, and yeah, or I'll be in like a chat on Cree's channel or Sharon's channel.
I wonder if he took down the video where he was like, and he tried to take my pants off. Remember that one? Here, I'll play it for you, JDS. Hang on. I'm not sure. If you haven't seen anything of Mars, you gotta see this stuff. Hang on. This is the guy.
Just all the pain that's caused me. All the emotional pain it's caused me, the paranoia, just a slow taper.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, all right. And then he gets down on his knees while I'm sitting on the couch. And he tries to take my pants off. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like fucking, what the fuck's going on, man? That we're hanging out, what the fuck? You know, I ain't gay. I ain't doing none of that gay shit. I don't know what I was thinking, but he's like, what? Whoa, what? And he starts freaking out. And, fucking.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna send, I think and I hope this is the link to that video. It should be, maybe. Let me copy that up for you there, bud. I'm gonna drop it. Just follow this video and you can just subscribe from there, I guess. Let's see. Boom. Let me try it out. No, Fargo doesn't have any content. He just watches YouTube. But anyway, he's out of here. I guess his signal dropped. But follow that link and you will get to Sir Mars. But guys, thanks for everybody in the chat. Appreciate it. Yeah, I seen Sour Skittles somewhere in there. I don't know anything about that, but it sounds interesting. Alright, guys. Y'all be good. I will see y'all in the next one. Be safe. Peace.